and we will begin the process of returning millions and millions of criminal aliens back to the places from which they came.
All the immigrants, the place you're going to go is not going to be what you think it is. If you don't have, they automatically pick you up and put you in ICE facility holding. I was born in Albania. I was born in the hospital of Tirana. That's a place in Albania. And this is where the story leads to after the whole situation. So I gotta tell you this part because it'll come down to later on what's gonna really happen. With my situation going back, which everybody will understand. So basically, in Albania, family. I mean, it was a communist time. So communist time in Albania, 1990. As soon as I was born, I remember my uncle gave me a kiss on the cheek. He named me Armando. He said, "I'm gonna name him Armando, and that's gonna be it." And then my family's like, "Okay, I guess you chose the name." And I guess Armando was named after Armando Maradona Laco, so Maradona. So that's what he liked the name Maradona and Armando. It was a good friend of his, and that's how it came out to be the name. So my family never chose. It was my uncle. But right after that, if you look at pictures at the 1990, they brought down the wall. So the Albanian wall was taken down by like a tank and a bunch of people. My uncle was involved in that. So they took down the embassy wall to escape Albania. So some went to Germany, some went to America.
Wait, so you have to understand, not everybody knows what you're talking. You're talking about the
Oh,
Soviet Union had collapsed,
yes,
and the wall that was separating what, Albania and what?
Albania at the time had a wall that separated that you cannot leave. You cannot go to the embassies. You cannot escape at all. Like you can airlines or nothing, but there's a wall. There's a wall that led to the embassies, like the American embassy, the German embassy, and everything. So there was a wall protecting it that you cannot pass that wall.
Or kind of like the wall in what, separating what, West and East Germany, where at one time, like, all the walls started coming down, right?
Yes,
But at the
yes, they
same time
started.
in Albania it came down. Okay.
Yeah. So 1990 is when I was born, and then like literally months after that, that's when they decided to take down the wall with the tank, and they have like images on there where the tank goes through there. So my uncles were involved in that. The two of my uncles, Arthon and Arben, they were known to going with the guys, getting a group of fellas from the neighborhood and taking down that wall, shooting the officers or whatnot, and trying to escape. They tried to escape the communists. They didn't want to. So you have to choose where you're going to go because they're going to shut down the embassies. So some people would go to Germany. Some people tried to make it to the American embassy, but that one's a little farther apart. So they just went to the closest one. So one uncle got actually, yeah, one uncle made it to Germany. The other one made it to Italy. And then that's all I know from my part. Everybody else, I don't know what happened. But they closed down the embassy after that. After you got in, you have to try to fight yourself in. They fought themselves in. They closed it down, and then that's what happened. So then after that, never saw my uncle again. After later on down the road, so embassy, it's done. They ended the communist era. They decided to open up everything. So like the 1990s, after that, Albania was allowed, but there was still like war with Kosovo, Serbia, and they had a lot of situations. Okay. I was just born, so I don't know too much of a lot of the stuff. All I know is that I'm going to bring some of the parts that play a major role in my life. There's a lot of stuff that happened in my life, but I'm going to bring the parts that made a major role that made me the person I am today or turned me to the individual that I was and what I became, right? So there's a lot of stuff that took place, but I'll come out with the ones that made a difference in my life, okay?
Okay.
So now my uncle at that time, he went to Italy, but got deported. I don't know what he did. Had some situations in Italy at the point. They deported him. So he came back. This was the uncle that's currently in Arizona and owns a pizza shop. Doing good now, change his life around. But at the time, he was probably the worst of them all. And it's funny because you got the other uncle who's big, tough, huge, bigger guy, and everybody in the family's tall. Like we got genetics of being big and tall and whatever. And then this uncle's the shortest one, but the scariest and the deadliest of them all. So everybody looks at him and is like, this one, he's the one. It's like, yeah, he's the one. So that uncle had a situation with a family back in the day, but it wasn't really a situation. This family is really well known in Albania. They were kind of mob related, bandits, if you want to call it. They would just go around and they would um, just go to any business and say, hey, you owe us money. We're going to protect your business. We're going to defend you guys. Nobody's going to come and mess with you. Here's how much money you need to pay us monthly. You know what I mean? So kind of corruption, well, kind of like the mafia did back in the day in New York or whatnot. That's what happened in Albania at the time. So they would go to every business and then they would tax the business. My uncle at the time owned, I think it was a coffee shop, a little small coffee shop, sold burek. We had burek and baklava, kind of some Albanian dishes that we had. And the bandits decided to come over there. Last name, I'll say last name and they would know. It's the Berisha family. Okay. So the Berishas are well known. And one of the prime minister that nobody liked at the time in Albania that actually is doing house arrest now and doing jail time is Sal Berisha. Sal Berisha has a really bad record in Albania for corruption and everything else. So that's funny how the bandits and for some reason the prime minister, same name Berisha, but always said that they never were related to one another. You know, they never had no. It was just different names or same last name, but they have no they have no connection at all. You know, they don't know each other. But for some reason, they always got away with everything, and they needed something. They would go to the prime minister. So that's back in the day. So, anyways, my uncle was hard headed. That's why he got deported from Italy. He's just one of those type of guys, and he just doesn't take no for an answer. He's just a very hard headed person. So the people came over to his shop and says, "You're going to give us this much of money, every month, and we're going to tax you." And we've taxed everybody around here, and that's how it's going to be. And my uncle said, I don't even make that much money. How can you guys tax me? I don't make that much money. This is Albania. We barely make enough to live. Individual goes, doesn't matter. I mean, that's how it is. Or your shop's not going to be here no more. And then, so my uncle said, you know what? I don't want to have any problems. Why don't you come back tomorrow and I'll have that payment ready for you? Individual said, okay, we're ready to go. They left. And they came back the same day, two fellas. This is coming from my uncle, but this is also coming from, I like to see proof. I'm a type of guy that likes to see proof. I don't believe anything anybody says, but he's got magazines and everything that I can even show you, like magazines of all the stuff he did. That's why he's an American citizen. And that's why they gave him refugee. And that's why he's in America for protection. So individuals came back, asked for the money. He said, yeah, let me get it from you. It's in the back. Came out with a gun and shot him. Shot them both. I think three individuals inside the coffee shop. One of them was paralyzed, and that's the person that has a problem still today. He's paralyzed from the waist down. He's like, and then the other two lived, but they got hurt. But they got back inside their vehicles and took off and went to the hospital. Okay. So, anyways, he said they're gonna come back for me. Let me just close down the shop. Close down the shop and said, forget about it. I'm just going to relocate, do something else. So at that time, he was in Duras. It's just a place outside where we kind of like it's where the beach is and everything. It's a tourist attraction. A lot of people might have visited Albania and went to Duras. So he said, I'm going to relocate. Well, it's not that easy. These people have connections everywhere. There's no chance to relocate. So what I remember is I don't remember it physically, but I remember the noises. I remember the noises and I remember the crying, the screaming, and everything. We were in the car. Uncle's in the back seat of the vehicle. My father was driving at the time. My mother was holding me in her hand. I was just born, probably 2 years old, 3 years old at the time. And individuals. My uncle said, "Stop a little bit. I see something weird. Don't drive too fast." And then the person kept following us, kept following us. And he said, everybody dug down. He knew it was going to happen. We had no idea. We know what's going on. We don't know what happened. We just knew that he did what he did, but we don't know if he still has a problem with these individuals. Sprayed the car. I'm talking about when the cops showed up, 7 to 8 gunshots. One of them was literally, I say about an inch, 2 inches to my head. So my mom's carrying me at the time, right? And she's holding me. And then from the shot to where it went, they looked at it and it was literally about an inch away from my head. So if she would have done something or panicked or whatever it might be, that's it. It would have been the end of that. So these individuals are serious. After that, my uncle, like I said, hard headed, does not take. After that, he said, I can't believe they would do that. They shouldn't shoot up, the family with the kid inside. They didn't know who was inside. They just knew my uncle was inside. He was driving the vehicle at the time. So, anyways, they decided to capture my mother, captured my mother, and took her to an area like up in the mountaintops of like Shkodra. It's a place out there outside of Albania. So they said, we kidnapped your sister. This is how it's going to be. We need that money. How's it going to work? My uncle says, you did what? Just called my dad, said, where's my sister? She said, I haven't seen her. She said she was going to go grocery shopping. I told you guys stay together. What the hell are you guys doing? So anyways, my father said, let me look into it, see what happens. I guess the people at the grocery store said some individuals came, took this woman and put her in the car and they left. So what he decides to do, to make things fair, is kidnap the mother of their family. So finds a way, sits down there, waits hours and hours and hours. At this point, they're not allowed to harm the woman. They just want their money. And they want my uncle to come and settle up for what he did with paralyzing the individual, right? So anyways, at that point, I remember crying and saying, where's mom? Where's mom? It's been we're talking about a week now, Finally, he got the hands of the mother and took her to a village outside of Albania. And it's kind of like ridiculous as it seems, but it's, very serious, but it was kind of a trade-off. The mother for my sister, anything happens, that's how it's going to be. We're both going to lose somebody. So
Right.
they made an even trade-off. My uncle came back at that point from Germany. Things got serious. They made an even trade-off. And nothing happened at that point. It was more like she's in the vehicle, you know what to do. The trade-off was done well. After that, Monk was like, we got to make a move. We got to get out of here. This is getting serious. These guys are going to keep coming back at me because I paralyzed one of them and they need to get back at me. Anyways, he got a passport situated. I don't know what he did on his end, but he got a passport situated and he went to America. He had newspaper articles and everything, and he became a citizen of the United States over time, a long time of being
So
there.
he got here and he was able to show that if he stayed in his country, he'd be killed. He was able to show that through documentation to the U.S. and the U.S. gave him asylum.
Asylum right away.
Okay.
Especially having problem with the guards at the time and everything else, and the Albanian embassy can call them and say, we don't even want this person back. So good luck with you guys. So anyways, he showed all the paperwork. He said it wasn't my fault. They came try to get some ransom and blah blah blah. He told the whole story. They had all the proof to back it up and became a citizen. But that was in time. In America, it's very difficult with immigration. It takes a long time. It's not as fast as other countries is. But at that point, we needed to go. We needed to figure something out. I mean, he left, so he left us some money behind. My father got a visa, and my father went to America with a visa. At that point, he got everything situated. He got us like an apartment, and he said, "Now it's time for you guys to come." My uncle in Germany situated a way for us to come to America with, I mean, it's all documented right now, but using fake passports.
I've been using Mando's whole body deodorant, and let me tell you, you can use it anywhere. Pits, balls, thighs, and even your feet. Mando's powered by mandelic acid. so it stops odor before it even starts. It blocks odor all day. I'm talking 72 hours. I love the scents too. My favorite is bourbon leather. It smells amazing. You can choose from other fresh options like Cloverwood and Mount Fuji. And the best part, no baking soda, no parabens, just clean, safe deodorant for your whole body. I've added Mando to my daily routine, and honestly, I feel fresher and more confident. It works way better than just showering alone. Mando's starter pack is perfect for new customers. It comes with a solid deodorant stick, cream tube deodorant, 2 free products of your choice, and free shipping. As a special offer for listeners, new customers get $5 off a starter pack with our exclusive code. You'll get 40% off your starter pack if you use code COX at shopmando.com. That's shopmando.com. Please support our show and tell them we sent you. Once again, that's shopmando.com and use the promo code COX.
They're making passports for $500, $1,000, and then you can have a whole passport that looks like you with your face, and then you pay somebody, and then you can make it. And then the best place to go to was Luxembourg. Luxembourg is one of the top places where you can just go to another country and there's no patrol. There's not a lot of investigation. There's not a lot of people there. So that's what me and my mom did. We went, we got everything ready. We packed up. We needed to go see. I was like, where's dad? Where did he go? He's in America. We got to go to America. And we got to hurry up. So from Albania to, Germany, picked up the passports, stayed there for a few days with my uncle, and then straight to the airport of New York. So the New York airport. I don't remember the name of the New York airport. I know the Sky Harbor of Arizona, but not the New York.
LaGuardia.
Is it Kennedy or no? What is it?
Is it LaGuardia in New York? Anyway,
Yeah,
doesn't matter.
one of the airports in New York. And then my mom said that they caught us in New York. They actually caught us, and they said these passports don't look. But I was crying. My mom was crying, and the individual let us go. He was like, you know what, just go, figure it out. I don't know what's going on, but everybody's crying, and something's happening here. So you guys can go ahead. Like, he really didn't take a really good look at anything, to be honest with you. He just saw the name and saw how sad we were, and let us proceed. After that, stayed a couple of days in New York. An individual picked us up, drove all the way to Arizona, where my dad was. And that's what started my life. Now I'm in Arizona, 5 years old, and I'm thinking I'm an American citizen. I'm thinking I'm an American citizen the whole time. Nobody tells me anything about, like, we have no papers, or, like, we're struggling to get papers or anything. All I remember is my dad working every single day, and then the lawyer would call and says, we need 20,000, we need 40,000, we need 30,000. So my dad would work day and night at his pizza shop that my uncle opened up, because he came first, right? He came first. He opened up the pizza shop and helped my dad out. So at that time, my dad was working every single day. A lot of corrupt lawyers out there in Arizona, everywhere, New York. They take your money. They don't do anything. I remember the time where the lawyer took 40,000 because we were going to the U.S. Supreme Court district, like the Supreme Court, the highest courts. Anyways, he was supposed to send something in on time. He said his mother was sick, but then we checked on his MySpace at the time, and he was on vacation. He was on vacation. There was no mother sick. He was on vacation, enjoying himself and with his wife and everything. And I'm looking at myself like, didn't you just give this guy money? And then my dad said, yeah, I guess so, but his mother's sick. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe he did. He put everything in the system, right? At least he got his job done. No, that day I remember clearly. That was the first time I ever went to immigration ICE facility holding. I'm like 13 years old, ready to go to school. And then I had football that day. And I see a bunch of cops outside the house. And I said, what are these, all black with the ICE logo on. I'm like, Dad, who are these people? My dad's like, I don't know. And he said, what's going on here? He said, we have nothing in the system. You have an ICE hold on you, and we got to take you downtown. I said, I don't know nothing about this. You know what I'm saying? My dad's like, okay, so me, right? You're taking me? He's like, no, taking the whole family. So at that time, I got 2 brothers and a sister. All of them are American citizens. They were born in America. I guess I'm the lucky one, right? I'm the one who had to face everything. But I always say to myself, I'd rather be me than them. I'd never wish what I went through to my brothers and sisters.
How old are you at this point?
Right now, or
No,
back then?
in the story.
Okay, that was around 13 years old.
Okay.
13 years old. ICE comes. They don't care what age you are. They don't care at all what age you are. And picked me up. Picked up my dad. My mom didn't. My mom didn't pick her up because she was pregnant at the time. Okay. So we try to say she's pregnant. She's pregnant. Like, come on. Like, she's not going to go anywhere. She's going to be in this house. So they had some sympathy for her. Let me and my father go inside the car, and we went downtown to downtown Phoenix, where the ICE facility is. And they call it ice because it's cold. It's freezing in there, and it really is. It's freezing. I'm in Canada, and it's colder than Canada. Okay, that's how cold it was in there. So first time being in jail, 13 years old. What's going on here? I'm like, what do I do? Why am I in this cage? Can I get out? Like, I'm like, can I get out? My dad's like, just calm down, relax. We're trying to figure it out. We got to call the lawyer, blah, blah, blah. Anyways, that lawyer that, hopefully everybody hears this because of everything that's going to happen, hopefully with this mass deportation with Donald Trump and what's going on. Hopefully everybody hears this to get your stuff in the system. If you don't have anything pending in the system, they automatically pick you up and put you in ICE facility holding. You always got to have something pending in the system. It could be anything, but you got to have something pending. If you don't, you're done. You're getting picked up. So the lawyer was making excuses. Oh, I sent it in not on time because of my mother, and she was sick. But don't worry, I'm gonna get everything situated. So he did. Like before 5 o'clock, he submitted something in there. It was probably some BS. He didn't do a good job, but he submitted something in the paperwork in the system. So the officers were waiting. We're waiting and said, I guess we contact your lawyer. You got something in the system. There's something pending now, and we're gonna release you soon. I was like, okay. But if he didn't, I would be going to wherever the underage holding is. And then my dad would have went to Florence or Eloy. Those are the two places out there in Arizona that they keep you. So anyways, I get out. After that, we celebrate. We think that, our lawyer did a good job. We go out there and have a dinner, have a good time. We're thinking it's all over. The lawyer took care of it. So anyways, after that, I continue my life, right? Football, good kid. I'm talking about didn't drink anything since after high school. Just focused on football. Was always playing like I got like magazines right here. This is me like on the Boulder Creek football team, right here on the very side over here. So then I got a full ride scholarship to like Glendale Community College at the time. Full ride scholarship for football for Glendale Community College, which later on led to hopefully getting, but I had to pay half of my money, but to go to Arizona State University, right? So football's going well. Glendale accepted me. Was working on my way to go to Arizona State University. After that, go to a combine, trying to make it pro. That was my thing. That was my whole thing. My dad told me, he's like, listen, either be NFL football player or pizza shop. Those are your two choices. You're a really good pizza maker. We have pizza shops. You're either going to work at a pizza next to a pizza oven your whole life or become a professional football player. You got no other choices. So I was like, all right, I guess football's the way to go because I'm not trying to do anything else. So after that, just that's it. Just I found a woman, fell in love with her. She was my first love kind of thing. And then she was Colombian. We were together the whole entire time. Everything was going great. Family was working.
And you're still in college.
No, this is high school. This is
high school. Okay.
This is high school. This is high school. So, right, this is all throughout high school. So, like I said, right after high school, that's when everything hit the fan. But high school was good. I'm talking about girlfriend, work, home, worked at the pizza shop, made good money. Didn't engage in parties, anything like that, because at the time in Arizona, we had a big problem with, they were called somas. Somas was kind of like, somas was kind of like, how do you want to say it? Like an Oxycontin. So everybody got involved in the somas, and it was all coming over the border. Then everybody got into, and this was Anthem, Arizona, all throughout Arizona at this time. But Anthem, where I was at, got hit hard with it because there's a lot of like well-off kids that can afford it. So they can afford to buy this stuff. So a lot of people, you're talking about wealthy people, they thought their kids were doing well. They're giving their kids money to for school, $40, $50. They would go and buy some black tar and go to a friend's house and do whatever they do, like put it on the aluminum foil and smoke it up, and that's what they've engaged in, all of them. So I went to a few of those parties. I'm like, this is like, what are you guys doing? Like, everybody's falling asleep. Like, what? It's not fun. Like, everybody's falling asleep. It's like, what are you guys doing? It's ridiculous. It's not even a party. So I went to a couple of them, and I never engaged into it. But that was a pandemic. It hit hard. It was coming all through the border of Mexico, and then they would come over there and they just black tar. That was the thing back then, and lost a lot of friends through it. A lot of friends. I can name them: Harlan Plass and Sloan got involved, and a lot of good friends. They got into it. Some of them got clean. Some of them didn't make it. So, anyways, at that time, like I said, football, school, work. Football, school, work. Dad was very strict with me. They didn't want me to go out. They didn't want me to do anything. He said the night is the devil's night. You never want to go outside after, once you see the sun, or once you see the sun go down, the night comes up, that's the devil's night. If you want to play with the devil, be outside. I don't play with no devil. I'd rather go inside. So that's what I did. Stay inside the whole entire time. Now, what was it? Right after that, after I got accepted to Glendale Community College, everything was going great. I thought, big happy family. We eat our final dinner together, which we didn't even know. It was, yeah, everybody that day was upset, very emotional. And it was more for the kids, right? Because at that time I got two brothers and a sister, and they're asking me every day, where's mom? Where's dad? Where's mom? Where's dad? So I'm like, this is getting, it's getting emotional. But what happened is they found a fraudulent document at the time, but it was a communist era. How do you know if the documents are real or not? It's communist. You don't know what documents were. Nobody shows you what stamps were involved. So they said there was a fake stamp on one of the documents on my father's petition for asylum. You know what I mean? But my father got the asylum. We were on the reports, or my uncle, sorry, got the asylum. We were on all the reports. So we should be getting the asylum as well. I mean, we have all the evidence to back it up. But I guess they said one of the stamps was fraudulent. And this is all on Google. If they look up Artur Laco, the U.S. Supreme Court, and then the denial that he didn't get accepted because of a fraudulent document. So at that time, immigration calls, and ICE, they do their job. I got nothing against them. That's their job, right? That's their job, to get people and to deport them. They don't do the deporting part of it. It's actually your deportation officer, but their job is to grab people and take them in. I mean, they got to feed their family. I got nothing against them. You know what I'm saying? I got something against the people that play the trick behind the scene once you're locked up. You know what I'm saying? So after that, they told my parents, like, it's very sneaky, the moves they do. Can you just come down to the ICE facility in Phoenix? Like, just, it was random. They called them and they said, the next day, can you come to, and at this time, my dad has a business. He's got a couple Americans working for him, employees. He's got, to the point in his head, we can never be like, we're not going to get deported. Like, there's
Right.
no way. There's no way we're going to get deported. He started buying a house. I was like, why are you doing, like, and my uncle kept telling him, don't do that until you officially get your documents. But in his head, he's an already American citizen. You know what I'm saying? And in my head, I'm an American citizen because I don't know what's going on. I just think I got accepted to playing football. I got accepted to this. I'm an American citizen. You know what I'm saying? So what happened was they said the next day, come down to just for an interview. He said, I have a lawyer. Why would I come down for an interview? Contact my lawyer. The lawyer says, something happened with your Supreme Court paperwork. You got to go down there. He said, what is it? He's like, what are you doing? Like, I paid you, and I remember this. He had $40,000 cash. So I'm saying, everybody, be careful which lawyers you get. Be careful. Do a background check. Really check with them. Lawyers are out there to get you. 80% of them are all corrupt. All of them. I'm not talking about just criminal. I'm talking about immigration and criminal, but immigration mostly. They don't care. They don't even know. They'll open up a law firm and they'll say this is for immigration, but we do everything. If a lawyer says we do everything, we do criminal, immigration, divorce, and all this. If they say they do everything, they don't do none of it. They're just trying to get your money. If they say we specifically work with, you know, immigration, we specifically work with divorce courts, then you could trust them. But once you know that we could do anything. That's just BS. How are you going to learn everything all at once? You know what I'm saying? It's impossible. There's so many laws and so many stuff to get into it. So, anyways, he's just that guy, that lawyer that we're talking about, Standard, uh, his name. But if you look up Arizona corrupt lawyers, he'll pop up there. He did jail time. He did jail time for 5 years for taking people's money and not coming through. I don't know what the charges were, but he actually did jail time for fraudulent for a lot of people, not just me, just a lot of families in general. So just imagine how many families this guy destroyed, just destroyed, separating kids from their parents, and that's what leads to you, you becoming somebody different when you lose your family. Not physically losing them, but not having them every day. Because at that time, I'm playing football, I'm having everything. I got everything was going well. And I got my father, I got my mother next to me. So it's important to have parents by your side at any time, to put you in the right direction. Every time I wanted to go to a party, do something, Dad said, don't do that. Work, work every single day. Work, school, football. Work, school, football. After that, my father went down to the interview. He was there. They said, we need to speak with your wife. Can she come down here? He goes, I'm here. Tell me what you need to know. I'll call my wife and we'll put on speaker. He said, your wife needs to come down here. We need to speak with her. You got to do some fingerprints, and it's nothing big. It's just a couple fingerprints. And my dad doesn't know English that well that time. He's barely learning English. He worked at a pizza shop, so he knows, hi, how are you? What kind of pizza? Pepperoni, cheese, mushroom, green pepper. He knows like the basic words, right? But he doesn't know like perfect English. So he just believes the officers, and he says, okay, well, you got to come down here. Get in your vehicle and come down. And then he goes, okay, but I'm going to bring Armando to translate for us to see what's going on. I said, okay, I'll come with you. I hopped in the car with my mother. We went straight down to immigration ICE facility. At this whole time, the lawyer was telling us that something was like not right, that they might deny your claim, but don't worry, I can push it. But Dad's like, I'm not trying to push it. But he never told us about the fraudulent stamp that they have found out. Never. Because he wanted to squeeze more money. You know what I mean? If he would have told us that, we would have known that there's no way. We would have kept the money and probably just went back to Albania the right way. And then just fought our way to come back to the country since he has U.S. citizen kids. You know what I mean? But
Right.
we would have saved a bunch of cash. But he never told us that. He just said, don't worry. It's just, this is how the policy works. You just got to go down there for the interview, but it's okay. Nothing's going to happen. Okay, nothing's going to happen. Listen to the lawyer. We go down there. My mother walks in. At this time, she has diabetes. She has anxiety, depression. It's having her like my brother. So my brother. She went through when she had the baby. She went through a hard time, so it caused a lot of like, I don't know, depression, anxiety. I don't know what happened, but after she had my brother, something happened to her mentally. You know what I'm saying? She's not like a horrible person or freaks out or does anything crazy. She's just always scared and anxious about stuff. So when she's walking in, she's getting nervous. I see her shake. I'm holding her hand. I said, everything's fine. Nothing's gonna happen. Soon as they walk in, As soon as they see her, they say, "Can you guys stand up, please? Handcuff, handcuff." I go, "What's the handcuffs for? Like, should I contact the lawyer?" The lawyer knows. What does the lawyer know? He told my dad everything was okay. Okay, you're coming down there for an interview. Well, you should really, what the officer said exactly was, you should really know who your lawyer is and be careful and what lawyers to choose. If that's what if that's what he told you. So I'm thinking at this time, what? So I called the lawyer. I'm like, they're in handcuffs. What are you doing? What's going on here? And then he goes, they shouldn't be in handcuffs. Everything's in the paperwork, like stuff's in the system. I was like, no, they're in handcuffs. And at this time, he told us something was going to happen. And I told my father, I said, why don't we just go to Canada? You know what I'm saying? I was like, and he thought it was a stupid idea. But we have an asylum. If we went to Canada, they would have approved. Canada's more lenient. They're more accepting towards people.
Right.
A lot of, I mean, you can see what's going on. They accept, like Arabic, like if you're Muslim and you're Christian and this and that, and you can prove it, they'll give you papers, they'll give you everything in Canada once you come. So they're more accepting over asylums and blood feuds and all that stuff. They're more accepting. We have an uncle over here in Canada. He said, just come to Canada. We'll figure it out. Come to Canada, file asylum, and that's it. That was the plan. I kept telling my dad, but stubborn, very, very stubborn. No, I own a business. I got Americans working for me. I'm helping the country. I'm paying taxes. There's no way I'll get deported. No way. All right, whatever, man. So after he got handcuffed, he figured out that, yeah, that's what's about to happen. So he got handcuffed. He's saying, call the lawyer, call the lawyer. I said, call the lawyer. He's saying that he doesn't know what's going on. I guess the U.S. Supreme Court, that's the highest court you can go to, but they denied his claim due to the fraudulent documents. There's nothing the lawyer can do. And he wanted more money. That's what I told him. No, don't give him any more money. He said, if you give me $30,000, I'll try to appeal. You cannot appeal it again. You have 3 chances. That's it. So be careful, everybody. You have 3 chances. That's it. If you've appealed it 3 times, the rest of what you're doing is nothing. You're not even buying time. You're just going to get a denial in about 3 months, 2 months. They're going to deny you, and that's it. You got 3 chances to appeal your paperwork. And then the last one is the U.S. Supreme Court, the ninth district. And that's it. Once they say no, denied, you're done. You're getting deported. Like, it's over. So he wanted more money. He goes, I can appeal it. I think you cannot appeal it anymore. Even the officer told us, the immigration officer. Like, do not give the guy any more money. Don't listen to me. I'm just trying to help out. But there's nothing left. The Ninth Circuit said you're getting deported. You're getting deported. So, anyways, they get handcuffed. My mother faints. They're trying to drag her back up. She faints again. She's going crazy. I need my kids. I need to see my kids. I need to see my kids. Crying and crying and crying. They give her some medication. My dad's like, I don't know what's going on. They take my dad to Florence. They take my mom to Eloy. But they're in like low, very low, because they never did anything. My dad didn't even get a speeding ticket in the States. Not even a speeding ticket. Nothing, clean record. So they took her to some to camp. They hold you in a camp. At this time, I got to explain to all the kids what's going on with the family. So luckily, we have this uncle that was a bad man at the time, but changed his life around. Good thing he did, and he kind of took care of the kids. He stepped up as an uncle, which that's great because at that time I couldn't even take care of myself. You know what I mean? Let alone take care of 2 kids. And how am I supposed to take care of them? How am I supposed to make this money? What am I supposed to do? You know? And
Right.
my purpose was football, pizza shop. So after that, forget about football. Time to run the pizza shop to try to help out the family. They need some money. They need this. The kids need money. Everybody that. So that ended that. But you can't focus anymore. After your parents get deported, after you see what you did, you're kind of angry. You're angry at yourself. You're kind of angry at the government. You're angry at immigrant. You're angry at a lot of people that it's not their fault. You know what I mean? but you're just angry. That's how it is. Like you get caught up. They take away your family from you, and you just anger at the world. So at that time, that's when the drinking starts. So I haven't drank anything since like all throughout high school. So at that time, my girlfriend, the one that like we're planning on getting married, having kids, and we had all this stuff planned out. So Clara goes, I got to go to Florida. Should I stay here with you because you're going through a tough time, or go to Florida? I said, you know what? I already lost my parents. Like they're gone in another country. You continue your life. I don't know what's going to happen with me. I really don't know. Me keeping you here is selfish. Why would I keep you here? Something happens to me, and then you held back your dream. Your dream was to become a nurse. You found an amazing scholarship to Florida, and I forgot the name, but anyways, it's a nice school in Florida for nursing. They're well known over there, and you become a doctor. Which now she's a heart surgeon and everything, and she's making great money. And should have married her, but anyways, didn't have a choice on that end because what happened was that's here's how it escalated. So, anyways, now she's gone. Kiss goodbye. We see each other a couple times. We meet. Last time we meet was in Vegas. This is like my high school sweetheart, first love, everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it meant to me like my family. You know what I mean? So losing her was like, wow, I can't believe this happened. So now she's out there in Florida, and whoever says long distance relationships work, it's all a bunch of BS. They don't work out. Long distance relationships. Long distance relationships never work out. There's always somebody to get involved. There's always somebody who's going to put their foot in and get in your business. It's never works out. It's very rare that you'll have a long distance relationship work. So
Right.
she ends up finding a doctor. That's Colombian, not Albanian, speaks her language, knows how to be romantic and nice. At that time, I'm drinking every day and I'm a mess. My family's deported. I'm angry at the world. She finds this doctor. There you go. So I end up losing her to the Colombian doctor that I wish him the best now. You know what I mean? They got kids and everything. They're married. It's this was what 12 years, 14 years ago. So, anyways, it's all done. So she's out of the picture, family's out of the picture. Now I'm starting hanging out with individuals I shouldn't be hanging out with. And we're driving one day to the pizza shop. This was the last time I had the pizza shop because after that I did 3 months in Maricopa County and Durango. So I was in Durango at the time.
How old are you?
That time, so 2009, I graduated. 09, the school of, class of 09. And 1920, so around 19, 20 years old. And
Okay.
yeah, and that least, so deportation was 2012. 2012 was deportation. Yeah. So then, anyways, right after that, I had to take care of the pizza shop. My dad said, take care of the pizza shop. Football's over. Forget about it. You're hurt. I hurt my knee. I hurt everything. That was another thing. So I lost the love of my life. Then I lost the love of my life. I'm in high school, right? But that's what I'm thinking. She's the love of my life. We were planning on getting married and everything. Now I lost my other love, football. So I got hurt going to Glendale Community College. I got a torn ACL, torn meniscus, and I got a full knee surgery I needed to do. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I can't even play football no more. My dad said, you're hurt. Go to the pizza shop. I need you at the pizzeria. We need to make some money. My dad tried. He left. I don't know what happened. He left with like 150,000 to Albania, which is a lot of money. Albania is a poor country. Like, I mean, we're talking about police officers in Albania get $500 a month.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The president gets like $2,000. Like, there's no money in Albania. So, but he tried to open up a restaurant. He thinking that he can open up restaurants. He thinks he can do it like the American style way. So he opened up Armando's Pizza. Then he opened up a car wash. Then he opened up another pizza shop like New York style best pizza. these people didn't care. You know what I mean? What kind of pizza shop name, or you're from the States or whatever. They wanted, like, can you put me on your list? Can you put me on your list? I don't have any money. Can you put me on your list? So in Albania, it's very corrupt. And then, like, not corrupt, yes, but not a lot of people have money. So it's more giving, right? So my dad gave more than he can make, and he ended up closing all these shops. So all this 150,000, that was all gone within a couple of years. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, anyways, on the way of going to the pizza shop, me and a friend of mine, he likes to smoke his Kush. He likes good Kush. He loves his Kush. So he always brought his Kush along. But I didn't know that this person had 3 charges. One time for a couple pounds, another time for this and that. I didn't know. I mean, I knew of him, but he never told me like his record or anything like that. We never got involved. He was just he worked at the Friars. He made sandwiches, and I did pizza, and I did the rest, right? And he would go and help me out at the pizza shop. I'd give him some money. He'd buy some Kush, and that's it. Officer pulls us over, he knows the individual, and he's following us. I said, why is this? It looks like an undercover. And he's like, it is an undercover. And I'm like, why is he following us? And he goes, I don't know. So he puts something right in the back, like just tosses it in the back of the seat, you know? So I'm thinking to myself, like, I was like, yo, what are you doing, man? He's like, nothing, like, they might say something about the Kush. And I'm like, it's not, it's like, that's like not even an ounce. It's nothing. It's not a big deal. Anyways, he goes, whatever, just drive slow, blah, 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 be calm. Okay. Anyways, lights go on. They ended up finding them Kush, of course. What's going on here? Do you have any in the car? I don't know what to say. We were always taught, like, don't say nothing to cops. Don't say nothing to anybody. So I was like, I don't know what's in the car. It's your car. How do you not know what's inside of it? He's doing the light thing. This idiot puts it like right in the back seat. So the cop looks at it, like, he goes, oh, what's that bag over there in the back? I go, I don't know. Do we have the right to check, or we got to get a warrant to go inside the vehicle? Now, this is the first time that, I'm getting pulled over by a cop and getting into this criminal thing, right? Now, I'm not used to it. It was all football, school, work, good kid, right? So I'm like, all right, whatever. It's like, yeah, I didn't know any, like, get a warrant or do this. I don't know anything. I just said, yeah, you can check it out. Fuck, I don't know. Check out what's in the vehicle. He's like, so whose is this? So somebody had to take the charge. You know what I'm saying? Somebody had to say it's mine. So he's like, you're the person driving the vehicle, so supposedly it's yours. He runs our records. Mine's clean, no record, no nothing, right? Checks him out. He's got 3 records for possession, for sale, for everything. So he looks at me. He goes, bro, you got to take this, bro, please. Like, I'll be going in for like 2, 3 years. I'm gonna be doing some time. This is like my 3rd, 4th offense. I'm on probation and everything. I'm like, what? You tell me all this stuff now? He's like, bro, just take it. It's nothing. Like, for you, it's nothing. You'll get out. Bond, boom, boom. I'll even get your bond money. I'm like, whatever, man. It's not whatever. I don't care. I'll help you out. It's not a big deal. I didn't care at that point. My parents got deported, everything. Everything's a mess. I don't care. What's the worst? What's going to happen?
Right. You're not realizing what's going to happen as a result of a charge while you're trying to get citizenship.
There you go. Very smart. So at that time, I go, it's mine. It's my vehicle. It's my bag. Officer looks at me. He knows he wants him because he sees the charges. Are you sure it's yours? Pulls me over to the side, talks to me. This is all on Google and everything. They got me for possession of trafficking, and then like resisting arrest because I didn't want to go in the cop car. I'm claustrophobic. I'm like, bro, I'm not getting that car. It's too small. So they got me for resisting arrest and all this BS, right? So after that, he goes, I'm like, what is it? I'm getting arrested? And he goes, yeah, you are. I mean, it's a serious charge. I'm like, what? What serious charge? I'm looking at my buddy. My buddy's like, bro, don't worry. Like, don't worry. It's nothing. You'll be out right away. I'm like, all right, whatever, man. Just call my uncle. Tell him to get me out. So anyways, he goes straight to my uncle, drives the car, takes me. They take me down there. Fingerprints, First time. Now that opens the door to being in trouble now. So fingerprints in the system, they do everything. They do the fingerprints and all that. An officer told me, he's like, why would you do that? Why would you do that, man? Like, we know you work at the pizza shop. We've been to the pizza shop. We've got slices from over there. Like, why would you do that for your buddy? I'm like, what are you talking about, man? That's my stuff. They're trying to get me to say something.
Right.
That's my stuff, man. You know what I mean? I smoke it once in a while. Well, I never smoked it in my life. I'll be honest with you. That's one thing I never engaged in. I took painkillers whenever, like, I played football and I got hurt. I got a little bit addicted to it, but not anymore. But just alcohol. Alcohol was my downfall. You know what I mean? And especially my parents being deported, it was like a bottle a day type thing. Going to work, coming back from work. So it was bad, right? And then at first I didn't know why people drank alcohol, but after that, I started to like it, and then I started figuring out that I like stuff right away, and it's not good. It's not good if I try stuff because I started to like the stuff right away. Just alcohol, I really enjoyed it, especially being, not doing it all throughout high school, never drinking it. And I was like, this makes me like forget about stuff, forget about everything that happened, and I feel the pain go away, right? That I'm going through at the time. So, anyways, buddy drives the car to my uncle. My uncle's got to come down to Maricopa to get me out. He can't get me out because of, well, first of all, he doesn't know how to speak English that well. So he comes down there he's got to get the bond money ready and all that. And the weekend starts. And then because of my ICE, every time, so anybody who's in the States that has a criminal record, once you go and you have an ICE hold or you're in trouble with immigration, automatically you get an ICE hold. It's automatically ICE. ICE blocks you to go into trial. Sometimes they'll hold you in there and then you got to wait for the day of trial. It could be a small charge, but it doesn't matter. You're on ICE. They put an ICE hold, you stay in there. You finish trial, ICE picks you up. So immigration ruined everything for you to get out, to bond out, to do anything. So they would have let me out. They would have let me out because I got an ICE hold. I'm like, why do I got an ICE hold? I'm an American citizen. They're like, no, you're not. Your parents got deported. You came with them. I'm like, no, man, I'm an American citizen. He's like, no, you're not. So I kept arguing the whole entire time. They kept laughing at me. They're like, no, you're not, man. Like, get that guy out of here. You're not. So they segregate you. So at Maricopa County, now this is the first time me going to jail. So there's 10 city. At that time, it was getting run by Sheriff Joe Arpaio. Sheriff Joe Arpaio was the worst sheriff in all of America. He's got charges on him now, and he was a corrupt sheriff. You're talking about, well, what sheriff makes $2-3 million? This guy lived in a $3 million home, and he's a sheriff. So they finally caught up to him, and if you look him up, he's got a bunch of charges. But this guy has you wearing pink handcuffs, pink underwear, pink thermals if it's cold, pink everything. He tries to make you like he wants you to wear pink to degrade you, to make you feel lower than yourself. And he has a hot box outside in Tent City that you go inside this hot box, and then the air hits down, so it's even hotter when you get in. It's already hot as it is in Arizona, but you get inside this hot box, and that's punishment. You're allowed to stay there a week maximum, but you get fed through it, and it's like a cell, but it's a hot box, so the sun hits it, and it's super hot inside. So that's like some severe punishment, which people that were dehydrated, they kind of collapse on the floor, majority of them. And the worst part, they didn't let you use the bathroom or anything. So they didn't let me. So if you wanted to do a number one or number two, you got to do it right next to you. You know what I'm saying? It was crazy. It was madness. I'm like, what am I getting myself into? So after Tent City was like a campsite, but really it's not. You think you're camping, but it's jail, right? Everybody just outside, you know? And then Durango is inside. So after Tent City, me getting involved with some individuals that I didn't get along with that well because I don't know the politics. Never been to jail before. Don't know the politics. Don't know what's going on. They take me to Durango. Everybody telling me Durango's even worse. I'm like, Durango's even worse. This place is awful. What do you mean Durango's even worse?
What is Durango? Another jail, or is it an ICE facility?
No, Durango. So this is jail because I got an ICE hold. I can't even get out. So they're letting me figure out this case. Are you trying to take a trial? You want to take a plea? What do you want to do? Well, what about this case? Everybody's telling me, they're like, dude, you got an ICE hold. You got to fight this case. But
You got to beat this charge so you can get the ice hold taken off.
exactly. Or well, the ICE hold, yeah, will be dismissed, and then you got to contact a lawyer to try to figure out another way because I'm already on the point of deportation because of my parents. But the only thing that's keeping me at this time over there is we did an adoption where my uncle adopted me. See what I'm saying? So they thought that. So it was a quick little move. We paid some money, and then my uncle adopted me. So I was adopted to an American citizen. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out that part because they've messed up in the past where they deported people and they messed up and they brought them back out right away, paid for their ticket and everything. And the person fined immigration, everything for taking me back to my country. And they got paid millions of dollars for people that were illegally deported when they shouldn't be, right? So they really got to be careful before they deport you. Very, very careful. So in my case, they're not trying to do anything. They're trying to wait. They're trying to see what's going on with my immigration. But they don't care. They're waiting for that plea. Take the guilty plea. Now we got something else. Your parents were deported, and now we got that you got a charge now finally in America. You see what I'm saying? And I go to Durango. So I'm just gonna give you like parts of like, some stuff because I see a lot of jail stuff, on your on the broadcast of all the people been in jail and everything. And then I'll give you a quick little breakdown of how Arizona works out with jail. You get in there, of course, the people take care of you, wherever you are. There's the woods. What is it? There's the woods, the kinfos. The woods are white, kinfos black. Paisas are Mexicans born in Mexico. Chicanos are Mexicans born in America. And then the others, which is Cambodians and Jamaicans, others, and whatever you want to call them. You know what I mean? But you go in Jamaican, I'm going to be a kinfo. Okay. So those are it. So automatically they see me. I walk in. I look white. I'm Albanian. You're white. Whatever. You're European. So the woods come, and I'm like, all right. The woods come. They're like, what you need, buddy? Same thing, right? What do you want? Do you need anything? We're gonna make. He makes the bed for me. They're making the bed for me and everything. They're giving me some fresh toothpaste, fresh stuff, noodles and crackers and all kinds of stuff. They take good care of you when you go inside there, right? Which I
Shower
didn't know.
slide. They give you a lock to use until you can get one.
Yeah. And then the other one gives me a nice little dagger. I'm like, I don't need this. What I need this for? I'm like, what do I need this for? And he goes, you might need it. And I'm like, no, man, I'm a big guy. I play football. It doesn't matter in there. The dagger can do some damage. It doesn't matter how big you are. So then I was like, no, I'm good on that for right now, but I appreciate everything you guys are doing for me. So I guess I'm a wood without even knowing about it. I'm a wood. I'm like, this is ridiculous. I didn't even choose to be anything. Like, I didn't want to be involved, but boom, I'm a wood. So they're like, you got to go meet the chief. And I'm like, all right, what is that? He's like, the shot caller. I'm like, all right. So I go meet the shot caller, and then some biker guy with a mullet, big mullet. He was buzzed up, and then he looks at me. He's like, finally, he goes, a wood with some size on him. All you woods out here, all you guys look like meth addicts. He's like, finally, we got somebody with some size. And then I was like, all right, whatever. It's like, so I guess you're the shot caller. You're supposed to give me something important. Like, you're supposed to tell me something important. Here's the rules. We don't engage with the kinfolks. We don't engage with the paisas. We don't engage with everybody. We stay together. You got a problem with anybody, you got to come to me. And then we discuss it with the other shot callers of the kinfolks and all that. And I was like, okay, all right, no problem. Shower up, boom, boom, shower up, and then go to your room or go to the place that you're situated. I think it was like B4, so I was on B4. But the worst thing about Durango is the cell doesn't close; it's open. So it's just 4 beds, 2 beds, two on the side and 2 on the other side. So 4 people, but it doesn't close. You don't close; it's open. The facility, it's an open facility, but
Right.
there's a time after 9 o'clock. Nobody gets out unless you got to go use the bathroom. You can walk and go use the bathroom if you really need to go.
Right.
But there's no closing. So I guess their program was one person keeps an eye out and the other person sleeps. So I guess every day it changes up because you don't know who's going to come to your room at night and who has a problem with who. So I'm like, this is ridiculous. So I guess one night, no sleep. You sleep during the daytime. So I was like, all right. And they're like, hey, you got to keep a lookout for tonight. I'm like, are you serious, man? So I'm waiting over there and I just wait the whole entire time until everybody wakes up. And you just got to keep a lookout for nobody to go in your room. They don't close. That's crazy. I've never seen that before, but they don't close. It's just open facility. Like it's an open. Now you can't leave and go out to where you're just in your
Yeah.
bubble, but it's an open facility inside your bubble, right?
Yeah.
And then
We call it an open bay in the where you've got walls, but there's no
yeah,
door. You got
yeah,
like a half wall.
a half wall. Perfect. Exactly what you said. It's a half wall. So I'm like, okay, well, I don't know what's gonna happen. So I just keep a lookout. Nothing happens. I get sleep during the daytime. Next day, buddy takes over. Jamaican guy just came there. I guess he was an immigrant, and I got along with everybody. And the name being Armando, it's Mexican, so it's like everybody thought I was Mexican. So there's like, what's your name? I was like, Armando. He's like, Armando, hey Armando, ¿cómo estás? I was like, yo, bro, and, oh man, Albania. I just gave up after that because everybody thought I was Mexican, And then I had a tan from playing football, so I get really dark, right, in the summertime. So I look Mexican. So then they're like, "Hey, Armando, ¿cómo estás?" Da, da, da. And I was like, "All right." So I got along. I always got along with all the Mexicans. I never had a problem with everybody, all the races. I didn't care. I just thought that whoever was nice to me, I was nice to them. That's how I was going to do. Shot caller gets mad, calls me up, says, "Yeah, man, interacting with too many people, calm that down a little bit." I'm like, "All right, I guess I will. No problem. I mean, I can't talk to nobody." He's like, "Hey, you can talk to somebody in there, but not all day. You're hanging out with the Mexicans all day. Like, we don't do that around here." I was all right. So I got to hang out with these guys, but I got no conversation with them. At least with the Mexicans, we could talk about stuff that, like I got conversation because that's what I hung out with on the outside. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So with the other, the Woods, they were just on meth and they're talking about crazy stuff. And, me, like I told you, I drank after high school. I didn't was involved in that stuff. So I don't know. They're talking about crazy stuff. I'm not even engaged in that. I want to talk about sports. I want to talk about, some soccer, whatever. So, anyways, they got a small TV, very small, very, very small TV. And guess what channel they put it on? Take a wild guess.
What, the Woods?
No, just like everybody in there. We have a small TV that everybody watches. It's a very, very small TV, like super small, but that's our TV. And
I
what
don't know.
channel do you think they put it on?
What, the Spanish channel?
The Food Channel.
Food channel? Okay.
They put on the Food Channel to show you how amazing, delicious dishes that they have on the
That
outside.
right, that you're not eating.
That you know. So Durango was, if you have no money in your commissary, you're dead. You're gonna die from starvation. They feed you in the morning, 6 o'clock or something around there, and then they give you peanut butter jelly sandwich, a banana, and orange. Most people use that to make
Hooch.
hooch. Yeah, there you go. I guess you know. So then hooch. So they make their hooch with that stuff, and then anything sugary or whatever, they get their hooch going on. Say, can we grab the orange? I'm like, yeah, here, grab the orange, whatever. But that leaves me with nothing. I got bread and some peanut butter. I'm like, when is the next meal? I don't know this stuff. You got to put money in your commissary. You got to put money on this. I'm just figuring out later on down the road. But that's not enough food. So then at nighttime, you get slop. Slop is beans and rice that's been like sitting out there. I see the trays. Like I'm looking at the trays. They're outside. It's 120, 110 degrees outside. There's flies. There's bugs. They probably have done shit on it or whatever they've done. It's disgusting. I'm like, man, it's been outside all day. You know what I mean? I'm looking at these trays all day, and that's what you get at nighttime. I'm like, I gotta live on peanut butter and slop. Like, what are you talking? I said, there's got to be another meal. So you're
Well,
really living.
that's
You're
what
really
being a nice guy. That's what being a nice guy and taking that charge for your buddy did. I'll
so,
bet your buddy, once your buddy realized what was happening to you, I'll bet you he said, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and do the right thing. And I'm going to take the charge that I should have charged because I didn't realize how bad it was going to be for this guy. So I'm going to take Armando, the charge Armando took from me. I'm going to do the right thing. Is that what he did? Because he's a good buddy.
that buddy I haven't even spoke to after I got deported. He's not even what happened to you, where you at. I actually contacted him, and all I
Yeah, but
said
I'll
was
bet you didn't put money on your books when you were locked up.
money on.
What about the money for the bond?
But that's it. Yeah, that's what I was mad about the most. Here's where I got really upset. Didn't even go meet the uncle. He has my car. He's been driving around my vehicle. So I'm like, not even. I call my uncle. Finally gets worried. They found out I'm in jail. He's trying everything he can to get a lawyer to get me out, to get this ICE hold out. I said, did my buddy come? Did my buddy Josh show up? He said, what? Nobody showed up to the pizza shop. I had to call everybody, the lawyers, and then finally your lawyer told me that you were in Maricopa, like you were down here in Durango. I was like, he didn't come. He didn't come. He's like, no. Where's the car? They had a Lincoln Navigator. Gave it to my dad. My dad got deported. And it says Lincoln Navigator. The guy's been driving around doing who knows what. And that's what I get for trying to help the guy out. And I finally contacted him years later. I just said, thanks for that charge, bud. And he's just like, we were young and dumb, bro. Sorry. That's it. So, anyways, that's what I got to live off. I got to live off slop and peanut butter and jelly. So we're fighting for bread. Basically, bread's keeping you alive. Bread. That's it. Bread. You got to get as much bread as you can, as much carbs as you can in your body. So as I'm going to court, now they chain you up, boom, boom, get everything chained up, and they take you to the courthouse. This is where I realized if I don't get out of here, I'm going to have some problems because either I'm going to die from starvation or something's going to happen. Because I ran into a fella, Francisco. I haven't seen Francisco in years. And I said, and he was going to the same thing because he's Mexican. He's got an ICE hold and he's going to get deported to Mexico. So I'm looking at him. He's like skinny. Francisco was 400 pounds. Okay.
Ooh.
So I'm talking about this is why Durango County, that's why Sheriff Joe Pio is a straight up scumbag. And I hope he hears it. Straight up scumbag for everything he's done to everybody in that county. He's destroyed us mentally and he's just a rotten and he deserves what he got, but he still didn't get nothing. Like it just what? He lived his whole life. He enjoyed it with all the money he made. They didn't give me any punishment. But it's a straight scumbag. Everybody in that county wanted a hands on Sheriff Joe Pio. He came there to visit a couple times. They had to put everybody on lockdown because everybody wanted to put a hand on him. They hated the guy with a passion. So I see Francisco, and it didn't look like Francisco at first, but then I can remember by his face. And then he has a scar. He had a scar right here from back in the day. And I'm like, Francisco? And he's like, Armando? What the fuck? He's like, what are you doing here, man? You'd be the last person I thought would be in here. And what happened? I was like, I caught that charge with Josh and whatever, man. He's like, oh my God, you still hanging out with that guy? Da da da. And then I was like, bro, what happened to you? And he goes, what do you mean, what happened to me? Look. And I'm like, dude, the guy is 180 pounds. From 400 to 180 pounds. Nobody put no money on his books. 2 years being locked up in the hole, living off peanut butter jelly sandwiches and slop every day. That's a lot of weight you're going to lose.
Yeah.
So the guy literally grabbed his skin and peeled it like he would peel it and say, look at this. Or just take like literally his man boobs and peel them out. Like his whole body was just like stretching. It was like just like a stretch man. Like, this is crazy. I'm like, this is, bro. I was like, put your shirt back on. Like, what happened? He goes, nothing, bro. Just no food, no nothing. I lost all my weight, 180 pounds, but I didn't lose it healthy. I lost it by almost dying. I went to the hospital a few times. I'm like, bro. So, anyways, I had my uncle put money on my books, and I made sure I got his number to put some money on his books. Put like at least $500 on his books. Later on, he sent me a letter like by people because he got sent somewhere else. Said, bro, I love you. Thank you very much. You didn't have to do that, bro. I was like, bro, eat something. He has no family. All of his family's in Mexico. He had nobody to put nothing into it. You know what I mean? Nobody knew he was locked up. So, anyways, I hope that helped him out, Francisco. I hope that did something for you. But anyways, after that, go to court. I see my uncle there. Uncle's like trying to get you out. I see the lawyer. Lawyer's trying to get me out. They're like, you got an ICE hold. Just take the guilty plea. I'm like, guilty plea. I mean, what's a guilty? What is it? What's a guilty plea? What does that do? What does that do for me? And he goes, nothing. You're just gonna be on probation.
Jesus, who the fuck told you that?
The lawyer at the time. I had a criminal lawyer and I had the immigration lawyer. The immigration lawyer said it might not do nothing. Like the criminal charges are not like 2 years or 3 years. It's not like a severe case, so it might not affect immigration. And I'm like, will it affect immigration or might not? Anyways, I said, let me think about it. I'm not ready yet to sign. I don't know. So I said, Your Honor, I'm not ready to take a plea. And it's just that it was a year probation, unsupervised.
But it's a felony.
But it's a felony, class 6. But they said that if you do everything correct, we'll get it down to a misdemeanor. You know what I'm saying? If you do all your charges and all of everything. But it doesn't matter. At the end, they see it as a class 6 felony.
Yeah, I'll take a misdemeanor now.
I wish. So if it was a misdemeanor, that would have helped the case. But they didn't tell me anything. They just said, listen, it's a class 6 felony. I was like, all right, whatever. So class 6 felony, and I see all the charges. And he's like, but your transport, it'll just be possession. You'll catch possession of, and that's it. And then like everything else, like the transport and all the other stuff, they'll all be gone, right? But it's still a charge. You're taking the charge. At that time, anything hurt you with immigration, and anything will help you will hurt you with immigration now. So if anybody in the States has a charge and they're telling you this charge is not going to come up, it will. ICE keeps track of everything, so you're done regardless. You know, you better catch a lawyer and try to get it fully dismissed to not hurt your immigration case. But whatever. At that point, I went back, and I should have stayed and went to trial. I could have beat it. There was ways to beating it. You know what I'm saying? But after what I saw, like I'm telling you, my story is ridiculous. But I'm gonna get to the main point, stuff that I remember that really hurt me inside, or that I remember till today that really dramatically changed me. You know what I'm saying? So I go back to the Durango County, go back to the normal program, and this is what changed everything. So 2 weeks later, they're like, "You want to take this charge? You want to take the guilty plea? Take the guilty plea." No, I'm not ready yet. Let me just stay here. So now I'm like 3-4 months in, and then somebody comes in. He was a paisa. So a paisa comes inside, which is a Mexican born in Mexico. He comes in and he's got some charges, but nobody knows what the charges are, and he doesn't have paperwork for some reason. So everybody's like, okay, well, who's the new guy? We need, like, is he a cop? Is he and you're trying to get, because there's some serious guys in there. I'm talking about people working for El Chapo. There were some serious, they're getting deported. You know, there were guys in there waiting for ICE. Most of them were ICE on hold. There were some guys in there, they didn't care. Like, oh, we're going to do 11 months and get deported back to Mexico and come back the next day. You know what I'm saying? And then they're like, we're going to just take one of the tunnels and come back the next day. So there's some serious dudes working for some serious guys out there. And then, which they won't tell you anything about, nothing about who the boss is, who nothing. They know, they'll tell you, they'll give you an idea. Like, and then once you see their paperwork, you'll understand. So everybody's got to give in paperwork, of course, right? And then this guy didn't want to, kept delaying his paperwork. So this stood out to me. I still remember till today. The guy comes in, he's, bigger fella, but just very creepy. Always kept it to himself, always stood to the corner, never talked too much. And then, anyways, now it's been over 2 weeks or something. They're like, the woods. So at that time, I got in a couple fights in the bathroom because I would go and collect for the shot collar. You know what I'm saying? So the guy with the mullet. So he'd be like, yo, go check on my Snickers or go check on my Jolly Ranchers or whatever, bag of chips. Has that guy got my 4 items? We just call them items. Has that guy got my 4 items? I'd go over there and I became a torpedo. Torpedo is a guy who goes for the shot collar, who becomes like his messenger. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I would go in there and be like, yo, you owe my shot collar. I don't know this stuff, but I'm mad as it is in society. A couple fights in the bathroom would take my anger away. You know what I mean? So why not? So then I'd go there and be like, hey, you got the 4 items? Tell your shot caller I don't got it. All right. Well, shot caller. Shot caller. He doesn't got your 4 items. Take him to the bathroom. No problem. You need somebody to come with you? I'm looking at the guys. They're all meth heads. A buck
Right.
10, a buck 10, 90 pounds. I was like, no, bro, I'm good. I tell the guy, yo, come see me. He goes in there. Boom, 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 boom. We duke it down. That's it. We go back. And then so after that, after doing some stuff for him, he made it my living situation there a lot easier. But it's still shit. I mean, you're in jail. So the food was ridiculous, but I got a little bit more meals, and then now food's coming in and I got some money on my books and whatever. Now we're gonna go to this guy. This what changed everything to the point that I made a big mistake. So individual comes, paperwork comes in, and the Pisces look at it and they let all the shot callers know. So I'm close to the shot caller. I let him know. I said, bro, why? Like, why is everybody freaking out? Like, what's going on here? Like, everybody is tensed up. What's going on here? He's like, well, don't tell anybody else. Like, don't let these other people know. But that guy that just came in here right now, they found some serious paperwork on him. That's not good. I said, what do you mean? What's not good? Like, what did he do wrong? Like, well, what do you mean? Well, he's a coyote, and he was to bring people across the border, right? So they would give him payment. Even if they didn't have payment, he would uh, say grape. So he would like grape
Yeah.
the kids, the mother, anybody. Doesn't matter if they have paperwork or not. So the father would be waiting in Phoenix. He would just do what he does to them, let him get in the car and go. And that's what he was there for like 20 or 30 families or something like that he would bring across. But then all the other essay stuff that he did, and then the great after the offense, they got it all on record.
Yeah.
That's what he was there for. So they
It's
saw
like
these charges.
70, something like 60 or 70% of all the women that come through the coyotes are assaulted.
Assaulted severely, and then that's what's going on in the border. So, and then sometimes you go under the tunnel, and they just take care of it under the tunnel because there's tunnels, and then you can go right
Yeah.
through it. And then once El Chapo got caught, or somebody got caught, but like 120 tunnels got figured out where they were, and then they collapsed them, and the government took care of it. But just imagine all these tunnels that were underneath the border. It was ridiculous, and I guess it would only cost. All of this I found out when I go to ICE now. You know what I mean? So I'm in Durango still. Okay, so I'm in Durango. The guy comes up there. They find out his charges. He's got to go within 24 hours. That's the law. That's the rule. So they got 24 hours to do it, the Pisces, or somebody else has to do it. We were all willing to do it. You know what I'm saying? At that point. But we can't. It's their people. The Pisces said, listen, man, we'll take care of it. This is not, we know these individuals, these are, and we don't tolerate these individuals. We'll take care of it. Anyways, that night, yeah, it was my night. I kept my eyes open because I'm supposed to protect the door. You know what I'm saying? Um, all I see is two men with blankets on them, And so they put the blanket for the camera, you know what I'm saying? So they're walking past like the cells, and they walk right past me. I was like looking by, I'm like, all right, well, they didn't come in here, we're good. So they're going straight down to Buddy, of course, right?
Yeah.
And then they had some socks or pillow, like a blanket or whatever. And then they just came with blankets all the way down. And then like they put it, I guess what the people saying, like they stuffed his mouth with the blanket and everything, and then just start getting to work, just nonstop. This is serious. This is a serious place. This ain't no joke around here, especially with the Mexicans. They're not playing around. Okay.
Yeah.
So you know what? Me at the time, I was like, you know what? Let me just take this guilty plea, which I ended up doing. I was like, you know what? I cannot stay here. It's like, how long is this gonna take? They said it might take a year. Other buddy over there got caught with like, I think 10 pounds of. He's like, I've been here 18 months trying to fight my case, and I'm like, 18 months being in here. Listen, I'm gonna end up dying, or I'm gonna end up killing somebody, and I'm gonna get more charges. So
Right.
I forget this, man. I'm like, me being a torpedo now. Now I gotta like, who knows? A wood comes in there, and a wood has, some kind of problems like that with what we talked about. Then I gotta do it. You know what I'm saying? Doesn't matter. You gotta do it. If you don't do it, they do it to you. So somebody's gotta do it. So I'm like, that's just gonna lead to those guys who did it. They all caught more charges. They were in there for now. Now they're looking at life. I'm like, what is going on here? Call the lawyer. Anyways, call the lawyer. I'll take that guilty plea. Just give it to me. Probation. I care less. Boom. They release me. Okay. I caught the charge, signed the paperwork. Let's go. For some reason, ICE doesn't pick me up. They're trying to figure out still if I'm adopted or not, or what's going on with that case. They're trying to make it happen. So
They let you go?
I walked outside, and they were there. Got inside my uncle's vehicle, took off. I was like,
Are you waiting the whole time? Like they should be here to grab me. Because I
that's what
know
they said.
guys like literally they get bonded out. They're walking out the door. 2 agents walk up and grab them. Just boom. Hey, put the cuffs on them. Walk them.
I'm gonna get to that because that's what happened. Now that time I'm good. I get out, everything's great, no problem. Go to my uncle's shop. We eat some food. He makes me pizza and stuff. I'm starving. I'm hungry. I'm having fun. Blah blah blah. Now finally, decision gets. I didn't know this, but now finally, decision is that the adoption happened over the age of 18. It does not. You have to be under the age of 18. At this point, he doesn't qualify, and he has to get deported. You know what I'm saying? So now I got a deportation on my record, like guaranteed now. Now I can't do nothing about it. So, but they were there. They were there watching me, just smirking, laughing, and then I'm driving away. So now I got this deportation order. I don't know nothing about it. I'm feeling like celebrating. This is like a week after. I feel like celebrating. Let's go downtown, have a few bottles, whatnot. So we go there. I get some of the guys from the football team. We order a few bottles. We drink, party, have fun. Um, some guy comes. He's intoxicated, smacks the woman that I'm with her ass. So I'm defensive on stuff like this. I don't like guys picking on women at nightclubs and like hollering. I've never been the type. If she says no, no, let her go. What's the point of keeping it up, And then calling her names afterwards after she denies you. I'm like, bro, leave her alone, man. Anyways, this guy wouldn't leave her alone. And I wish I could get that video. Probably can, but the video was crazy because even the officers didn't believe it, that what happened afterwards. So anyways, he kept picking on her, kept picking on her. Afterwards, he got aggressive and pulled on her hair, and like, come here, like you know who I am, type of thing. And then I pushed him inside the nightclub. I'm like, oh, get off her, dog. Who do you think you are, man? And he's like, oh, you want to be like this and that? I said, I'm there, so you know, I'm there with my Mexican buddies. They got involved. They're like, yo, you don't know nothing about us. Da 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 da. It was all this thing, bobbing back and forth. This guy leaves. I'm thinking he's gone. He's waiting in the back alley. So in Old Town Scottsdale is big now. After I lived back in the day, it was just normal. But I guess celebrities go there now, and it's like a big thing in Arizona, Old Town Scottsdale. So, but back in the day, Old Town was just, it wasn't that bumping. They had Old Town and they had the New Town. So now they got like New Town Scottsdale. It's a whole new setup. But I haven't been back there, but everybody's telling me it's beautiful and it's nice and it's grown. So, anyways, he's waiting for me in the alleyway. Okay. So I'm leaving, same girl, seen him in the alleyway. I said, take taxi, get out of here. She's like, what? I was like, those guys. She's like, come with me. I was like, no, just leave. Like, I'm not going to come with you. And then so the guys I'm with, I'm like, bro, let's take care of these guys. Who do they think they are, man? What's going on here? Anyways, I wish I had the video. And if I really want to get involved, I could probably try to get this video. But first time ever, I kicked the guy. I never knew I could do that. Being a big fella as I am, there was 3 of them. I took a nice solid kick. I thought I was a UFC fighter at that point, man. I took a nice solid kick and it landed perfectly flat right to his face. And he just went face first to the ground. And after the guys seen that kick, they're like, what? And then my guys are looking at him like, yeah, what's up? You guys want it? They saw their main guy go down. And it was a kick. So, and I'm a big guy at the time. So they're like, how did this big guy kick this high? Like, what? So he must be a trained fighter. So they left. They're like, they grabbed their buddy to try to leave. The guy wouldn't get up. So the ambulance came. That's how bad the kick was. I don't know if kick can hurt somebody that bad. So the ambulance came. They have it on video. They have it on Old Town Scottsdale video, that kick. And I'm trying, I wish I can get that video. I know one of the officers, we played basketball together, community center. So I was like, cool, can you give me that video? But he hasn't reached out to me. But it just said, he was even surprised. He goes, you kicked him? He's like, how'd you, and even the ladies, they're laughing at the point. I'm in the back of the police car, like, how'd you get your leg that high? They're like, you're a big dude. And I'm like, I don't know, just, I did a little taekwondo back in the day. And anyways, so they knew it was self-defense, you know what I'm saying? So they kind of, but anyways, the guy was in a stretcher, and I don't know what happened. I was like, if he dies, then that's some serious charges. Like, what's going on? But anyways, I guess he woke up and he wasn't that hurt, and he didn't want to be taken down to the hospital. He didn't want to press no charges, but that's still an assault, right? So they want to try to get me for this assault. So instead of giving me like a promise to appear, like, we'll let you go now. You can appear on your own, you know? They decided to take me down, hold me down there. And then
Ice hold.
guess who comes sees me? Guess who's there? So then I'm in jail, and they're like, we're gonna release you on this paperwork for you to leave. Just a promise to appear, make sure you show up on this day. I was like, all right, no problem. Call my uncle from the phones there. I knew the phone to I don't know anybody's phone, but I know the phone to the pizza shop. Called the pizza shop. I said, don't worry about no bond money, no nothing. They're releasing me. And my uncle goes, okay, no problem. And then as soon as I walk outside, handcuffed. I look back, ice. What? I was like, what do you guys want? What are you doing? They said I got released. Yeah, from here, not from us. So then that's what starts everything. So then I'm like, okay. I'm like, so where are we going? So we're going down to a processing room down in Phoenix, same place your parents went to. And then we're going to figure out a place for you to go. Like, all right. So anyways, it went from trying to defend a woman to about to be deported. So now I get picked up, get sent. And then my parents at this time is like, oh, he's going to a camp. So mom's like, he's going to a camp. So the camp that they were at, I guess they have like Mountain Dew and a fountain of drinks. They got a soccer field. It's like a low. It's like it's a holding facility. It's not even it's a holding facility, right? So they got basketball, soccer. My mom's like, oh, he's good. He's good. He's gonna play some football, some basketball. They weren't worried about me, right? No, it's different. They took me to Pinal County Jail. So I didn't even go to Florence or Eloy. They said this guy's a high risk, and then some other like minor stuff that I got. And then they got me for theft, which was like a robbery, but it's nothing special for me to get involved. But it went down from robbery to theft. And anyway, so a couple like I said, After the parents got deported, I went kind of crazy. The drinking, doing stupid, making dumb mistakes. You know what I'm saying? But I'm telling you the stuff that really stood out because the
Yeah.
theft one wasn't really a. That's another 30, 40 minutes that we can talk about it, but it wasn't a big one, right? Just a house and whatever, whatnot. I was the driver, and then that's it. And then so that one went down to theft. So they check the record, they see all these charges, and they're like, no, no, no. This guy, he might escape, he might run away. Let's take him to Pinal County. So for my fellow friends out there, if you have a record and ICE picks you up, you are not going to go to detention center. If you are a high risk, they will take you to a higher facility, Pinal County, or they might take you to the prison. They might hold you at Kingston. They might hold you at somewhere, wherever they want to hold you at. You know what I mean? That there's more cops, there's more guards, there's more COs. So I go, okay, I'm going to the detention center, I said, in Florence or Eloy, because that's where everybody wanted to go. All the Mexicans that I was there with, it was all Mexican, some El Salvadorians, Colombian, I think two Romanian, Albanian, and there's one Albanian guy. So just me and him, and a couple Europeans, not so much, but majority all Mexican, right?
Right.
So there's some like Jamaicans as well and stuff like that, but not a lot of them. And Cambodian, the one Cambodian guy almost killed me. So that's what happened inside there. But anyways, we'll get to that. So I go to Pinal County facility. 23 hours in, 1 hour out. So that's what I'm like. This ain't no detention center. I'm like, what are you talking about? I'm like, I'm stuck in this box for 23 hours a day. I'm going crazy. This is my first time ever doing stuff like this, being 23 hours in, 1 hour out. I'm like, what are you talking about? 20. I didn't believe it at first. I'm like, you're really going to let me sit here for 23 hours? And then 1 hour for what?
You can go stand in line to use the shower, or you can stand in line to use the phone, but you can't do both.
That's it. And you can't even do both. I'm
Right.
like, you are not going to let me sit here for 23 hours. That's not. That's not humane. That's a joke. That's not. I didn't believe it. I think they're doing this just for a day or 2 days or something. I'm thinking that's what's going on here because that's crazy to keep somebody locked in for 23 hours. I'm like, what? And I'm a guy who needs to do something, like move around, like be active, do something. And reading books is not my forte, so I really can't read a book, but I started reading. I had no choice. And then, start doing some push-ups and stuff like that. But they kept me in there for that 23 hours because they had me at higher, like level 4. Level 5 is like crazy. Like they did murder stuff. Level 4, and then you go down to 3, 2, and then it's more lenient. But at first, they kept me in there for about a month. So this whole time, they're getting ready for my plane. They're getting tickets ready for my plane to go back to Albania. I didn't know that. I thought that like my lawyer's fighting on the outside and stuff's happening on the outside, but it's not. They're getting ready for my plane to arrive. So I'm in there 23 hours in, 1 hour out. That happened for a whole month. Then I'm like, then I caught on. Once a week passed, I'm like, these guys are serious. They're literally keeping in people. And then I hear stories of like Michael Francis or like Sammy or these other guys who did like what? Or even you, I think you did what? Like in the holding, like 23 hour. I think you said a couple months in there.
Yeah, like 45 days, I think, was the longest one.
Crazy. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was like, what? Like, so, and then guys have been there years and years. I'm like, 23 hours in. I'm like, what? So, like,
Well, that's I was in the shoe that long, but in like a holdover, what you were in basically like a holdover, it's 23 and 1. Like in
yeah.
the shoe, you get out once a week because you have a shower and a toilet and everything in the shoe. You don't get out at all. Where I was, we got out once a week. But
Wow.
but in the holdover, I think in the holdover, maybe did a couple months in the holdover where it was you get out once a day for 1 hour and you didn't have time. I mean, you could shower and use the phone, but you just didn't have time to do it. So it's like you had to choose. I'm either going to stand in the line for the shower. By the time I'm done with the shower, if I get in the line for the phone, there's not enough time.
That's it.
You know, so you had to
15
pick.
minutes, 15, 20 minutes. The guy's like, hurry up. You can't do both. It's impossible.
Yeah.
You can't. Even if you tried what I tried, you get a minute on the phone. Not even that. You can't. What are you going to talk for about a minute? So, anyways, I was like, this is crazy, man. But anyways, I went through it. I started doing some reading and trying to pass my time and counting how many dots were on the wall and some guy made a portrait of like some El Salvadorian, like he colored it on the wall. So I'm trying to figure out why he made this and what the individual thought. And I'm trying to do anything to cover my time. I'm thinking of all like I'm taking pieces of paper, literally, to take a piece of paper and like just tossing it in the toilet, just like tossing it in the toilet, just pieces of paper. And like sometimes I'll just like think about like everybody I've hurt in my life or stuff that I've done wrong in my life. And like just taking toilet paper throw. I was losing my mind there. That nothing to do. There's nothing to do in there. So now here's what happens. So now the guy goes, you're gonna see a deportation officer. I get okay, deportation officer. All right. I look at the name. It said it was a normal name, but then at the end it was like like not kung fu, but like Ku Yan Zhu something. Okay, so I'm like, okay, whatever. All right, the guy must be Vietnamese, Chinese, whatever. Okay, It's gonna get to the part that he angers me. So then I go in there, he's provoking me. So I go in there, I'm meeting the guy, and he goes, oh, okay, so you're going to, let me see here, check on the paperwork and everything. He's all looking, he's like, look, check paperwork. Okay, you're going to, Albania. I'm like, yeah, Albania. He goes, Albania's a beautiful country. He's like, I nice, nice scenery, beautiful place. And now it's like open to Europe. You can go to Europe now, and like, food out there is amazing. I've been to Albania. I've traveled over there. I was like, you're not. I mean, it's not going to be a bad time in Albania. You're going to have a great time. I'm like, what? Like, bro, what do you mean? I'm trying to stay in America. I told him, I'm not trying to go to Albania. What are you talking about? And he's looking at me. He goes, I don't know about this America situation, but like, but Albania is not a bad country. You're really going to like it when you get there. And this guy just really just sparked me up. I said, you're from where? China? And he goes, yeah, I'm Chinese. I was like, why don't you go back to China? I was like, the
Mhm.
place.
It's beautiful.
I said,
It's
the place.
beautiful in China.
Exactly the words I said. It's on paperwork and everything because afterwards it went bad. I was like, why don't you go back to China? I mean, doesn't America owe China like billions of dollars? You guys are a rich country. It's a beautiful country. Nice over there too, right? Why stay in America and become a deportation officer? What's the point? He goes, I'm in this seat, you're in that seat. You have problems, I don't. I got my citizenship and you have been denied. So there's a difference between me and you. I can go, but I can come back. You can't. And I'm like, what are you trying to get that from, man? And I'm like, I don't give a damn about you thinking my country is good. I don't know my country. I came here when I was 5 years old. So I don't know nothing about Albania. And I'm like, why are you talking like that? Why are you provoking me? And he goes, no, I'm just saying it's a beautiful country. Go back. I say, well, go back to fucking China then, if that's what the case is. It says it's a beautiful damn country. And I spit in the paperwork, I crumpled it up, and I threw it right at his face. And I'm like, I'm not signing this shit. Get the fuck out of here. And he goes, oh, okay. And then officers come, boom. I'm thinking I'm going, because they're telling me you're going down to a lower level. I'm back at this 23 and 1 inside there. I'm like, oh my God, for another month. So just because of that, just because I threw the paper at his face. So after that, I got a new deportation officer. I told him I'm not going to deal with this guy, this Kong Fu Jun Brun. I'm not dealing with him anymore. Nothing against the Chinese people. I love them. But that guy was just an asshole. I can't stand him. I'm like, why would you say that? Like
Yeah.
I'm trying to like fight my way to stay in the country. And then you're trying to provoke me and tell me how beautiful my country is. I don't know nothing about my country. So the guy, anyways, now I go down, I stay in there. I'm waiting for my, I got picked up around, that's October, so November, December, January. So January, around my dad's birthday. My dad's birthday, January 4th. So I get deported around January 5th. Okay, and this was 2012. Yeah, 2012. Because 2014, I made my way back to Canada. So only 2 years. But anyways, 2012, they take me over there. They lower me down to a lower level, and then there was
I don't understand how'd you go to Canada when they were going to send you to Albania?
That's what I'm gonna get at with the passport. You know what I'm saying? Like I got sent, yeah, I got sent back. I got sent back. Like there's no way. But I'm gonna tell you this: he said it, and he was serious. And I'm telling you that right now, they're crook, they're messed up over there. He literally told me, if you don't like Albania, you can pick any other country you want. We can take you there. I was like, "Are you serious?" He's dead serious. You like Cambodia, you like France, we'll deport you anywhere. You just can't stay in this country. You serious? He said you can go to Mexico if you want, which I should have taken that. I could have came back with all the friends I had. But he was serious. He's like, pick a country, we'll deport you. You just can't stay here. I was like, "Are you? This must be a joke." And he's like, "No, I'm not joking. We'll deport you anywhere. You just can't stay in America." I was like, "Oh my gosh." So the whole time they're waiting for my Albanian passport, which I left when I was a kid. So good luck finding that. So I'm trying to tell people, like, if they can't find your Albanian passport or if they can't get your passport, they have to let you go. You can only stay in this holding facility in immigration for so long. Then they got to release you. Okay, there's a time frame. If it's a year or if it's 2 years or something. How I know is because they lowered me down to a lower level. And that's why this person played a good role in my life because he helped me out with a lot with immigration. I called him Uncle Gretchy. Uncle Gretchy, he's a guy he's like, you remind me of my son. Like, come over here. So he took care of me while I was in there the whole entire time. So Uncle Gretchy, if you see this, please reach out to me because I lost his contact and all his information, but he said he's going to reach me out on Facebook. But his country wouldn't take him back. He had these 2 stars here and like this general thing. And I go, what are all the tattoos for? He goes, you're too young. He goes, once you go outside, you'll figure out who I really am. But I guess it's some mafia Russian shit. So he was really serious about the Russian mob. Like he was crazy, this guy. He took a liking to me. He said, you remind me of my son. Stay here. There's a lot of problems. I don't want you to get in trouble. I said, okay, no problem. I let him talk to my uncle on my phone. My uncle's talking to him. Uncle's like, when the heck did we have a Russian in our family? And like there, he's laughing. He goes, don't worry, your nephew is good in here. Your nephew is fine. We're gonna help him out. We're gonna take care of him. So Uncle Gratchy, he played a good role with the Cambodian guy. I beat him. Quick little story. I beat him in a game of basketball, and because over there you have a basketball court that you can play for a little bit. Now I'm in like a lower level, so Pinal County they have a basketball court, and we played pickup games. And I beat him, but I was getting a little too rowdy. I was like, "Oh, look, I beat you, I beat you, I beat you," and he didn't like that. And then I was like provoking him in front of his friends, and this guy just got done doing 15 years, and they're trying to deport him back to Cambodia. You don't give a damn. So he's on a different island than I am. Me, couple months here and there. This guy's 15 years in. Already has the shank ready. Already has everything ready to go for anybody to mess around. I thought it was like deportation. Nothing's gonna happen. But literally, right after the basketball game, word got around. Uncle Gretchy heard about it that he was gonna stay up in the shower, and I was like, okay, I didn't know. So I go in the shower. I see him, two Cambodian buddies. Uncle Gratchy came in there, blocked the way. He said, you got to go through me to get to him. Uncle Gratchy said, man, we respect you. Get out of the way. The guy's a disrespectful piece of shit. He's all there yelling in my face and this and that. He's like, we're not going to let that happen. You know how it works. He goes, listen, he doesn't know nothing. He doesn't know this and that. Let him go. So because of him, they held back. But I'm not supposed to see him, not supposed to contact him with eyes. And I got mad. I was like, why don't we fight one-on-one? And I said, what's up with this shanking? Like, oh, there's no rules in jail. What are you talking about, man? So I'm at the time, I'm thinking one-on-one, like fights in jail. Like, there's no rules in jail. We'll shank you. You're a bigger guy than me. I'm not going to go one-on-one with you. I'll make it even. I'll bring a huge dagger the size of your face, and that's one-on-one. So I'm like, I was like, Uncle Gretchy, was this guy serious? Let's just said you would have been a dead man, he said. I was like, okay, never mind. So then just me, Uncle Gratchy are in there. And then I remember when I guess so now when if you go to ICE facility, if they can't get your passport or if your embassy does not approve for you to go back, they have to release you. So that's another thing for some people to keep an eye out. Or if they lose your paperwork. And if you have connections back home in your country, there's ways that your paperwork go missing. You know what I'm saying? So, anyways, but they came to Uncle Gratchy and he goes, I've been here 2 years. What's going on, man? So he's been there for like 2 years waiting, you know? And then they finally told him, they're like, Russia does not want you back. Nobody wants you back. He laughs. He goes, ha ha ha, I know. Fuck Russia. He's like, what about you guys? You want me back? We don't want you back. What do you want? Are you going to let me stay here? And so then he was going to get released, though. He was going to get released back to California after doing 10 years. He did something over there. I didn't get involved too much, but he said he was going to reach out on Facebook when he gets out. So I know he got out. Then I met some El Salvadorian guys, and the guy's like, I'm going to die when I go back home. I got tattoos all over my face. I got gang tattoos. I'm going to El Salvador. I'm dying. And then the officer's like, that's not my problem. Like, you're going to die when you go back to El Salvador?
Straight to that fucking Supermax 100,000 man Supermax that they built.
Yeah.
Right?
He's like, that's why I'm either going there, I'm dying. Like, you guys are taking me to a deathbed. And he's like, well, you shouldn't have done the problems you did. You came to America, which, they're right in some way. You come to America, find, work hard and do a good living, and that's it. My situation, I came when I was young, 5 years old, and I had fraudulent documents, because the wouldn't have stopped me. None of that stuff would have really stopped me. They would have caused problems, but it was all the fraudulent documents they were worried about. That's why they gave me a 10-year ban. So they gave me a 10-year ban from the States. So when they're about to deport you, they give you a ban. Keep that paperwork. That paperwork's important for when you try to come back. You need that paperwork. You lose that paperwork, it's going to take 6 months for you to get it. And without that paperwork, they're not going to let you back because they'll lose your records after 10 years. But it says there 10 years, 20 years, and then it says life. So the El Salvadorian had life. Life, he could never come back. So, anyways, he was like, I'm a dead man. I'm going back there. I'm dead. That's how it is. So he has all these tattoos. Like, I'm done. And then he said he was going to add me on Facebook. He never added me on Facebook. So I figured out what happened.
He's got bigger problems, bro.
Yeah, I know. I know what happened. He's done.
Yeah.
He told me, he's like, if I don't add you on Facebook, because he had all my information, he's like, I'll add you if I get out. But if I don't, you know what happens. So he's gone for sure. But he was a good guy, man. He was a really nice guy. Majority of these people are nice when they're inside, like they're really just like how did they get inside? Like, he's really nice people. Why would you put yourself in this situation? But anyways, the ICE facility, they don't care, man. They want to grab as many people and deport you as fast as they can. That's their mission, So now, whatever. We're getting down to it. It's getting ready for deportation time. They got my ticket. They got the plane. They got everything ready to go. I didn't know. They're playing tricks with me. They said you're going to get released. Something happened with your lawyer. Your lawyer came through, and you're about to get released. I'm happy. Call my uncle. Call everybody. My uncle is coming to the cells to pick me up. So they're telling me that I'm about to get released. And then I guess my lawyer had paid some money to, or my uncle had paid some money to my lawyer. So there's another $10,000 go to waste. He's saying if you pay the $10,000, I could probably get him out. They had the ticket ready. They had everything ready just to get me out of there. Now, it's kind of a funny situation, but whatever. It's not funny. I got deported. But you go to this one side. This one side is to the buses. You go on the buses to go to Mexico. Then the left side is for all the Europeans getting ready to take flight to go to Europe. You know what I'm saying? My name being Armando, they thought I was Mexican. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm thinking this bus is taking me to downtown Phoenix. You know what I'm saying? Or they're taking me down to ICE facility, and I'm going to get released at the detention center, right? Downtown. So I'm on the bus, and everybody's like looking at names, and he's looking at me, and he's like, hey, ¿cómo te llamas? And this and that. And I go, no hable español. I was like, I don't know nothing. And he goes, Armando? And he goes, yeah, because they had another Armando. So they're ready to start the bus to deport me to Mexico. So I'm like, where are you guys going? And he goes, Mexico, Mexico. We're going to Mexico. I'm like, Mexico? I'm like, what? So that was the whole confusion. The bus starts, they're literally driving, and they return the bus around to get me out of there. And he said, you're not Mexican. Get your ass over here with the European. So I'm like, where was I going? He goes to Nogales, and go to Mexico. I was like, no, I don't want to go to Mexico. Take me to Albania. And then, anyways, at that time, like I said, they still didn't know where they're going to happen. Like, am I going to get released or not released? Because of my lawyer. He's making a big mess of things, right? He's making a big mess that he's going to be released or not. So I'm talking to the other guy. The other guy's like, no, this is it. Like, you're going to get, like, the plane's going to be here. You're going to go back. It's done. It's finished. And he goes, I go, no, my lawyer says that I'm going to be released. Anyways, wake up in the morning. I'm getting driven somewhere. And I'm like, this looks familiar. I was like, Tempe, Arizona. Yeah, this is the college, university, Sky Harbor Airport. What? Sky Harbor what? Airport? What am I doing at the airport? And the guy's like, you're going home, bud. I'm like, what? So I got two marshals or whatever they call themselves, like the guys who like try to look. So they bring two people with you. They have guns. You know, they handcuff your arms. They shackle you, and they're like, let's not shackle them. It looks kind of bad because we're in a public airport now. And then the other officer, I was like, man, look, bro. I'm like, I got handcuffs. I got little kids looking at me, and the other kid's like, mommy, what did this guy do? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, come on, man. This looks kind of, it's a little bit of embarrassing. Like, who cares? Not like I'm going to see these people anyways anymore, you know.
Right.
But he felt kind of like sympathy, so he took off his jacket and he put it over my handcuffs, like I'm carrying my jacket. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I got on the plane. Boom, right back. That time I called my uncle. My
Wait,
uncle.
do they go with you on the plane?
Oh yeah, oh yeah. They hop right on the plane with you all the way in the back of the plane, shackled up. And you sit in your seat. One's over here on the left hand side. The other one's right next to you, and you're just shackled up. You're literally like this for the whole Albania far. So 18 hours, 18 hours, 20 hours. Yeah, it's what 18 hours in Albania. Yeah, about 18 hours. So I'm shackled up for 18 hours. How to use the bathroom, shackled up, everything, and they got guns. They're strapped up until they take you to Europe. But anyways, I called my uncle. My uncle was upset, and I didn't know why he was upset, but now I figured it out. I called him, and he goes, "I'm here waiting for you at the jail. Like, where are you?" And then I was like, and I knew it was gonna hurt him inside because he loved me as a nephew. He loved me. He'll die for me. You know what I mean? But I told him I was like, I'm about to take flight. He's like, take flight where? I was like, I'm going home. He's like, no, man, don't tell me that. No, man, don't tell me that. And then he just like hung up the phone. But I know he lost his mind after that. So then after that, he knew I'm going back to Albania. So, anyways, I couldn't fight it. I tried to fight it not to get on the plane. They say if you don't get on the plane, you're looking at 5 years for distraction of like you're avoiding their procedures, like everything has
Right.
been set up already. They set up the
And
plane.
you're still going to get on the plane.
And you're still gonna get on the plane. So you're gonna do 5 years and still get deported. So I'm like, what the heck, man? This is crazy. This is ridiculous. So then, anyways, I get deported. I get sent back. Now they have no proof of me. They don't know. Like once I go to Europe, so now I'm there with officers. I go from Arizona to Washington. When I'm in Washington, they're like, "You want a sandwich or something?" I was like, "I'm dying of food." They got me some Subway. I was like, "All right, nice officers." They weren't bad people. They're just doing their job. You know, I never took. It's never their fault, right? They're just doing their job. And then once I step on Europe turf, then they unshackle me. Unshackle, like you're free, but you still got one officer to take you all the way to make sure that you made it to Albania. You see what I'm saying? So they unshackle you because you're in Europe, you're in your land, kind of, it's your area, and they unshackle you and everything. And then, they said the next flight's to Albania. So I land in Albania. The officers come. And they're like, who is this person? Like, we haven't seen this person. They're like, he's your people. He was born here. And they're like, oh, okay. Anyways, so he's like, he's born here. Okay, so I go over there and I see a bunch of people waiting outside the doorway. And I'm like, who are all these people? I told the officer, that's your family members. Like, they're going crazy. They've been here all day waiting for you, like just going crazy. Like, where's my son? Where's my son? And then I just hear, of course, my mom. Her voice you can hear from miles away. Like, Armando, Armando, Armando. I was like, who? Oh, my mom. I was like, let me go talk to my mom. I haven't seen my mom in a long time. And they're like, no, no, no. So they wanted to keep me in holding to get my process in, because I left when I was young. So they have no information who I am, what's going on, nothing, right? So they want to keep me in holding. And then I go, and then so, anyways, there's connections in Albania. Some people paid some money, blah, 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 whoop de woo. They're like, listen, we're not going to keep you here for long. We're going to release you. And of course, they were not going to leave. They're yelling at the guards and yelling at everything. Release him. He left when he was a kid. He doesn't know nothing. Release him. He's here. He's a citizen. He's an Albanian citizen. He was born in the hospital of Tirana. We're like, what the hell are you guys doing? Release him. And like, they're making like a big deal over the guards. So they released me right away. And then that started my whole life now in Albania, getting deported, right? So, anyways, for the first 6 months, depression. Did not want to get out, did not want to leave anywhere. This is a whole new country for me. I didn't want to go anywhere. Stayed at home. We barely had any money left. We had no money, no nothing. A lot of stuff happened. So I'm like, now my parents are waiting. They're waiting for a sponsorship through my brother. I got two brothers and a sister, American citizens. One graduated from Arizona State University for civil or computer engineering. The other one graduated, and now my sister is in Michigan, and she's graduating from Michigan. So we're waiting for. You got to be 21 years old to do a sponsorship. So for anybody who knows, you got to be at least the age of 21. So my dad had to wait till my brother was 21 to do the sponsorship, which we didn't know about. So finally, once he gets to the age of 21, they put the sponsorship in, and that part gets approved. You see what I'm saying? So they're still waiting. But me, I landed in 2012, 6 months, stayed in a depression. Then I'm like depressed, man, out of my mind. I didn't want to be there. I didn't want to be in Albania. I hated everything about it. I lost everything, man. I lost the girl. I lost my football career. I lost everything, man. I was like, this is ridiculous. I mean, what's there left of my life? Now there's more left of my life, which I thought it was over. That's it. I thought deportation was the worst that it could be. No, it's not the worst that it could be. Trying to stay alive in Albania was even worse. So now we're talking about this crazy uncle, which I led you to the story in the very beginning with the shooting. So now I decide to leave, and then I went to Germany, tried to claim Germany like asylum over there. They don't take too many people in. So they kind of not deported me. They said, you overstayed your stay. 6 months you can stay, you got to go back. So I'm like, I can't go back. I can't go back because of what happened with the situation. So I went to, after being 6 months in depression inside the house, I decided to go to like a coffee shop down the street, whatever. In Albania, they like to ask stupid questions. Like, well, not stupid questions, but they like to know everybody. So they see me, they see that like I don't speak that well of Albanian. I kind of have like an accent, and they're like, "Hey, where are you from?" Da 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 da. And then I tell them. Now, me not knowing anything, what's going on, um, I said a name to them. I gave them the last name, but not Laka, which is my name, but my uncle's last name. Okay. So when I told them my uncle's last name, the guy's like, "Oh, and you're in this part of the city?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Like, well, like, what are you talking about? So that person left. He disappeared. So now I go to a place called Hemar. At this time, I'm trying to do some security. And some security, my other uncle that's in Albania, he got me a security job on the beach. It's a security job. I try to help out people and whatever, just to make like what, $400 a month. I went like after you get deported, then you start really loving the country that you were at, America. You start really regretting everything that you lost. You start seeing America as a place of gold. You know what I mean? But at first, when you're there, you're like, whatever. I hate this place. No, 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 no. Go back to your country for a couple years, and then tell me what you think about America. You're gonna come and kiss the land. I'm gonna tell you that right now. So then I go back there, and then it's just a hellhole. I mean, everybody's yelling and screaming, and just chaos, and just all corruption. People getting pulled over, paid money, guys getting caught with guns, paid money just to give the officer $30. He lets you go. Beautiful country. Don't get me wrong. I'm saying beautiful country for like sightseeing and hanging out, but not to live there. Especially I'm doing security, risking my life. A guy can come and kill me at any time for $400 a month. My dad was working at a pizza shop. He was making what, $3,000 a week in America. He was making $10 a day, the whole day. 12 hours of working. Here's your 10 measly bucks. Now fuck off. And you look at the $10 and you're like, what am I supposed to do first? Bring food to my kids? What am I supposed to do with $10? You know what I'm saying? So I was like, this is crazy. He's working all day for $10. I gotta help him out, so I gotta do security. I go to a place down there at the security place, and then so there's some paperwork that I sent you as well. There's the paperwork here. So this is like the people that's all signed and everything. Some of it's in Albanian and some of it's in English. But this is when my parents were attacked by the individuals. So, anyways, if you read down to it, it just says, and this is from it's a newspaper article from Albania. So it's a newspaper article that everybody reads in Albania. They're well known, and it just talks about my family. So the individuals come, and it says here, if they don't displace, they will be blown up and killed because of their son. So either bring back their son that's left, or these individuals they came up to my dad. We're gonna blow you up and kill you, but they translate it, but it means a little bit different in Albanian. It's a different wording, right? But that's the best they could do for the translated version. You know what I'm saying? So they came to my father first to trying to harm my father, but my father doesn't have that name. Like he has a different last name. So they wanted the nephew. You know what I mean? Me. So I'm like, my dad's like, we got to get him out of here. We got to figure out a way to get him out of here. You know what I mean? This was all over the news at the time. So now I go to Himar, and anyways, everybody will know this individual. So, anyways, tell me how a guy he killed over 30 people, and he gets out of jail in 10 years. He does 10 years prison time, and he gets released. A big mob boss at the time. He says 2 murder suspects go on the run. He gets released, and that's the guy that my uncle, his relatives that he paralyzed. So this individual, well known all throughout Europe, this is the guy, he gets released. So after committing 30 murders, and the government of Albania releases him. Crazy. So now, anyways, I show Canada, this is the conflict that happened. This is signed by the general of Albania. Here's the official copy. So anyway, just some proof for people. This is the general of Albania. He's like the general police officer of Albania, that they said um, that they protected me. Individuals attacked me, and the police protected me, and they kept me in protection until they thought I was safe, and they released me. So that's the whole this, and they have the translated version. I send you the stuff if you want to put it up. I like to bring up some facts because a lot of people talk about stuff, but did it really happen or not? You don't know. But anyways, um, yeah, and that's the other one. Same thing. All police reports. Like the chief of police, and for anybody in Albania, they know him, Agim Basha. So Agim Basha. Anyways, all it says is that Armando was attacked at a certain time by the individuals. We protected him and kept him safe in custody. Um, and that's it. They don't want to mention the names. They don't want to mention last names because the police is scared of these individuals. They don't want to release their names. And now they go over there and say, who you guys to mention our last name? Like, what's going on? This family's really well known over there. Right. Crimes and everything all throughout Europe. Even me getting protection in Germany doesn't mean nothing. If I get protection in Germany, they're going to catch me in Germany. So anyways, I'm going to a coffee shop now in Himar. This is far away from where I need to be. This is closer to the area, you know. This is closer to the area that people know my uncle. Okay, so I go there and I mention the last name again because they keep asking for this last name. I mentioned the last name. I'm walking up to the hill. As soon as I walk up to the hill, bam, they see the wound. It's right over here, big dash mark on my chin up top, right here, and a whole bunch of wounds all over my body. These individuals, they just come. That's the police report that we're getting at. Individuals come, set me up. I'm bleeding everywhere, soaked up. This hand, I can't even crumple it up anymore. Like it stays like this. Like I'll take the rings off. I can't because it's from here to here. So I can't even make a fist. It stays like this. So it looks like I'm flicking people off, which I'm not. I cannot bend this. So they snap the whole tendons off my stuff, and I got a bunch of marks on my body. They wanted to put me in the trunk, but we were such an open area. They want to take me somewhere and just shoot me, get it over with. So me being my size helped. That's the only thing that did help me. I pushed one away. I kicked one. I did everything. They're smaller guys, probably in their 20s. If it was probably an older people, they probably would have got me. They're trying to put me in the trunk. I can't get no trunk in a Mercedes. How are you going to put me in a Mercedes in the back of a trunk with a big guy like me? Like, come on, man. At least do it right and put me in like an SUV or get something bigger. Anyways, so they're trying to get me or whatnot, and then I escaped. So I had to fall off. I literally there was a cliff. I said I have no choice. Either fall off this little cliff that's going to make me roll and go down to the area where everybody's at, where they can see me, and then hopefully police will come pick me up, or I got no other choice. And that's what I did. I took a jump. The guy's like, "Fuck, this guy's crazy." He took a jump, rolled, got cut up, got hit in the back of my head. I think I split like over here. Like over here, I got a whole cut right there on the side. And if you see like the whole side of my head on the back, it's all cuts and wounds. And that's it. It's life or death. I was like, who are these guys? Why are they coming after me? What's going on here? Just because of a last name? What's happening? So security comes and they pick me up, and that's when I got it. The general letting me out, right? He said, "You're lucky we were there. That's a really serious people. How do you know them?" And then I just said, "I don't know, man. I went to a coffee shop and I gave him the last name."
Right.
And he said, "That's not a good name around here, man." I was like, well, fuck. How do I know? I was in America. I don't know nothing about this name. He said, "Listen, anybody coming to pick you up? Get out of here now. Like, we can't even help you. Get out of here now." Come on, man. You guys that serious? I'm thinking it's a joke. I haven't seen no, but it's like mafia movie shit. Come on, man. Like, I'm thinking it's a joke the whole entire time. I was like, who are these guys? I'll go beat them up. Dude, get out of here now. It's not no beating up. These people are going to shoot you and kill you. So
Right.
get out of here now. And I'm like, fuck, what do I do? So, anyways, I had to escape. Anywhere in Europe, these people know who I was. I stayed up in a village, and I hid myself in this village. People would bring me food. I stayed there for about a year because I left in 2014. So 2012, all the way to 2014, 2 years was like a hideout. You know what I'm saying? Um, but that's 6 months that I stayed in Germany. That was about it, right? And I couldn't go back to Germany. They already figured out. So I had no choice. I said, you know what? And it wasn't even supposed to be like that. But I needed to make some money to make a move. So a buddy of mine, his name was Davis Jacobs, and he looks kind of like me, you know. But there was another person over there, and he wanted to get a passport. I said, well, I got a guy who kind of looks like you. Maybe if he comes over here, he's like, you're gonna buy the plane ticket? I said, I'll buy the plane ticket. He'll come over here and then give me $20,000. And you can. I needed to make some money. I need to do something to secure myself to go somewhere. So anyway, they're a bunch of liars in Albania. Some people have. I'm not saying to all Albanians. Don't get me wrong. I don't want them to come crashing after me. Not Albanians are liars, but there's some crooks out there. You know what I'm saying? Majority of them are very hardworking, good people, but there are a lot of crooks. And this guy says, "I have the money. Don't worry. Just come." So, anyways, he comes. He brings the passport. Okay, and then oh, I forgot. Anyways, for anybody earlier today. That's just from the city of Maricopa County. Like that's all the paperwork for everything, that's everything else like that. Like everything that I have from Maricopa County being held inside there. You know what I'm saying? And that's the full ride scholarship to Glendale Community College. As you can see, how my life went from trying to become something, getting deported, and going through hell in a matter of like years, just quick, just like that. And then, anyways, so then I leave that place as fast as I can. My parents pick me up. I'm trying to get the guy to come to Albania for the passport. I bought
Right.
it. I buy him his ticket. I said, "Listen, bro, come to Albania. You're gonna like give this passport to somebody. He's gonna go somewhere, give you the passport back, and we're gonna make some money." He needed money at the time as well. He needed the money time as well. He was broke. So he's like, "Okay." I was like, "I'll split it with you, 10-10, whatever." Anyways, he decides he comes to Albania. I pick him up at the airport, and I met a girl at the time that I was seeing. She was really nice, and she helped me out with this whole process. So I took him out a little bit, showed him a little good time, but I couldn't go certain places. He was like, "Why can't we go here?" I was like, "No, I can't." "Why can't we do it?" I was like, "I can't." So I try to keep him away from everything. You know what I'm saying? And then he was like, "Okay, like, where are these people?" I go to the person. The best thing happened to me. The person didn't want to buy the passport. I was like, "Bro, you made me buy the tickets. The guy came down, everything I did, and now you don't want to buy the passport?" It's like, what's going on here? Like, what kind of business is this? He's like, "Dude, I don't want it. He doesn't look like me. I don't care. I don't want it." I was like, "Give me the money for the ticket then. Get out of here. If you don't leave my club right now, I'm going to shoot you. Simple as that. Get the fuck out of here." I got no support. I got no defense. I got no people. I don't even know anybody to give me a gun. If I wanted to, I could probably find one, but whatever. So I left. I said, didn't work out. Okay. I'm looking at overnight. I'm looking at the passport. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at the passport. I'm looking at him. I'm looking at myself in the mirror. I'm like, should I just try it? I was like, he kind of looks like me. Let me just try it. What's the worst that's gonna happen? I'm a dead man anyways. Who gives a damn? I'm gonna stay here. I'm gonna die. So I told him, I was like, "Listen, bro, I gotta go to Germany for a little bit. Okay, you're gonna stay with my girlfriend. She's gonna take you out. She can go anywhere because nobody's looking for her." So
Right.
she takes him out. They have a great time. He's texting me. He's like, "Bro, I'm having a great time. I love Albania. Everything's great." At this time, I'm getting tickets ready. That's a ticket. So this is 12 years. 12 years is ticket. 12 years long. So this is ticket, and that's them declining me, almost catching me in Paris. They disrupted my flight because it didn't look like me. One lady out of everybody, not tricked, but I guess I manipulated the ambassador of like America, the guy who checks the people for immigration. So he was like, that's him. And then we hit it off because he used to play football. I'm like, "Yo, bro, I used to play football too, Davis Jacobs, but I knew the guy everything. I know everything about him. I know his social security number. I knew who he was. I knew everything about it. I dated his sister. I know everything about the guy." So, anyways, so then I told him, "I'm Davis Jacobs, blah, blah, blah." They're looking at the guy has like brownish, goldish, like eyebrow. So I went to a salon to get kind of like goldish hair, like to do a whole makeover to kind of look like him.
Right.
So they did that to me. So I went from Albania to Vienna. That's what the thing says. From Albania to Vienna, from Vienna to Paris. I messed up. I wanted to go to Luxembourg. Like I said from earlier, Luxembourg's the place to go. Easy, right? I went to Paris. I said, no. Paris is number one, like strict, super strict. Nobody can get involved. The only thing that saved my life is that I speak fluent English. That's it. Because if I spoke like Albanian, like chippa 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 like that,
Right.
they would have caught on right away. But because I was like, this is me, I'm Davis Jacobs. Like I'm trying to go see my girlfriend in Canada. Like, what are you talking about? Like I'm Davis Jacobs. Like I'm trying to go see my girlfriend. I'm only gonna be there for a week and I'm gonna go back to America. You know what I'm saying? And then so they're checking the passport and everything. They bring me down. That's why they avoided the ticket. They said no. But they said, come back tomorrow and we'll see what happens. So they got me a room in Paris and they said, come back the next day. Sorry about you missing your flight and everything. Because it was this one lady. It was this one lady. She was an Indian lady, but she was the smartest one of them all. She was the smartest one of them all because she was like, you're either Albanian, Serbian, or Macedonian. You are not American. I don't know how she got it right. I'm like, how the fuck? Who is this chick? You know what I'm saying? Same day I see her again, but now, once the American immigration ambassador, once the main guy says you're good to go, you're good to go. She's just an employee. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So he made up his mind. He goes, listen, I got this one. He's 100% Davis Jacobs. That's Davis Jacobs. Like, come on. Like, look at the damn passport. Like, stop this already. She's complaining. I'm hopping on the plane. She's still like, no, doing this. I can see her. And I'm looking at him. Just look straight. Get out of here. Once the plane leaves, you are good. They're not going to turn the plane around, right? So you are. And then my uncle told me, once the plane leaves, you're good. So I'm like, all right. I was like, she's arguing with him. He's arguing with the other. And then he just waves at me like, bye, Davis Jacobs. Like, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. But they're like, I was in an interrogation room for hours. Like, why did you play football? Okay, what happened? Why'd you go to Kansas? Like, they wanted to know, but I knew all the answers because me and him talked about everything. But we didn't talk about one thing. We didn't talk about one thing that affected me when I came to Canada. So everything was good. I hopped on the plane. She's arguing, whatever, plane up. And then the guy says, uh, uh, plane has been interrupted. I'm like, oh my God, they got me. But no, it had to do with something else. Plane goes. As soon as it shoots up, I'm buying drinks for everybody. I had like $500. I'm buying drinks for everybody. I said, you want to drink? You want to drink? I'm in a happy mood. I'm drinking. I'm having fun. I was like, I got out of there. I made it. I don't know how this worked out, but I made it. I don't know. All that guy said is, bye, Davis Jacobs. I said, bye, officer. Thank you very much. And then that's it. That's his ticket. Saved my life. So, anyways, I come over here. And then here's one thing that's kind of crazy now. So now I come to Canada. Canada, same process. How are you? How's everything? Good. Da-da-da. Looking at the passport, the guy's like, this doesn't look like you. And I'm like, this is me. The guy just in Paris said the same thing, you know? And I knew the name at the time, but I forgot the individual's name. I told him the name of the person. He said, it doesn't look like me. They took me into interrogation room. They asked me a bunch of questions. And then I even told, I was that like confident. Like you have to have confidence when you're doing this kind of stuff. And like with any crime you do, you got to be confident about it. You cannot be scared. If you're scared, you're done. I was like, bro, I got to see my girlfriend. It's her birthday coming up. This is ridiculous. I'm Davis Jacobs. Call my dad. Call my dad right now then if you don't believe me. I was going crazy with this guy to the point he was like, calm down, Davis. It's all right. Tomorrow you're leaving. You got a plane. Hilarious. I wish they had the camera over there. So anyways, I come over here to Canada. And anyways, the guy just goes, I don't know. The passport doesn't look like you, but anyways, it doesn't matter because you're not allowed in Canada. I was like, what? I was like, I'm Davis Jacobs. He's like, yeah, I know you're Davis Jacobs, no problem. What happened in 2000 and I think that's right when he graduated, 2010. I was like, I don't know what the fuck. I don't know what happened. I guess the guy forgot to tell me he got busted with the steroids. He was a big steroid user. So I was trafficking in steroids and stuff. And you're not allowed to come to Canada. Any trouble you get in the States, you're not allowed to come to Canada. So now they look at me and they're like, so we're going to deport you. I'm like, where are you going to deport me? You're home. America. Like, and that's where I got a 10-year bar from. I'm not allowed in. So I'm like sitting there. I'm like, should I just go back? I'm like, no, you're an idiot. Once you go back, they're going to fingerprint you. You're done. Like you're finished. That's called trespassing, re-entry, and you're gonna catch. Because I know a guy in there, believe it or not, 12 times. He came back, went back, crossed the border. He had 12 re-entries. It was a game to him. The officers even laughed. They go, later, Lopez. He goes, I'll see you guys tomorrow to see my kids. Yeah, we know Lopez. 12 times the guy came. So, anyways, they caught me. They're like, "You're gonna go back to America." I'm just sitting down. I'm sweating. I'm like, "No, I gotta tell them the truth. Forget this." I'm like, "Listen, my name is Armando. I got deported from the States. I got a 10-year ban." Everybody's like, "What? The fuck just happened?" Sit over there in that corner, please. Just sit over there in that corner. We'll get to you in a while. And then afterwards, I told them the truth about everything. I said I had to leave. I was going to get killed by these individuals. And here's the proof right here. They give you a refugee Canada asylum. So that means you're allowed to work. You're allowed to stay in Canada. You get covered by Blue Cross, free healthcare in Canada, allowed to work in Canada, everything. So they give you this piece of paper, release you, and then that's it. Have a nice day. So then now I made it to Canada, and now it's the Albanian passport that they confiscated, over there on the border. So now I'm over here.
Did
And
you have the little frohawk?
no, I had to take that off because Davis Jacobs didn't have it.
Oh,
Davis Jacobs didn't have any of that. He just had a flat like buzz cut, so I had to look just like him.
okay.
I had to buzz everything down. But for that's when I landed to Albania when I had that nice little frohawk thing. I always kept that. Everybody said I looked like Jersey Shore, like Ronnie from Jersey Shore. I don't know if they watch it, but I was wearing like with the chains
So,
and the white beater and
wait,
everything.
okay, so that was Jacob's passport.
No,
That was
no,
a copy of your passport.
this was mine. Yeah, that they confiscated. They confiscated
Okay,
over
okay.
there.
I thought
Yeah.
that you were showing Jacob. So I was like, when
No,
you're
no, no, no. Davis Jacobs, Davis Jacobs, that passport. They keep that. They kept passports. They keep that passport,
okay,
and I think they call him, which they did, and he just gets a new one back.
so
But
he went and got a temporary one at the
he gets a
right,
temporary one, and he gets his back. But if you look up, he's probably on Facebook, and if you match us together, we don't look alike. Like
right.
I don't know how it happened. Like if you Facebook everything, we look different. It's weird. Like we don't look that alike. I don't know how it worked out. Like I told you, the only thing that saved me is English. Like the fluent speaking English. That's what saved me. Nothing else other than that. So they took a whole report. They do the whole report thing from the embassy. That's the whole report that they write down that he used Davis Jacobs' passport to come here. He was attacked by these individuals. Um, yeah, these are just the officer's notes. I send you to them as well. I just like people to show some proof online, just so
Yeah.
people understand the story. And I just, he made it all up. And then that's it. I went to Air France. So yeah, 2014, December 12th, 2014. That's when I landed. And I went to jail. So that's the funny part. So I land, I come to Canada. I'm like, I get to see Canada. This is amazing. First time ever. I get to see Canada. And at this time, I came to Canada not knowing anything about Canada, right? So I just had like a shirt on, some shorts. It was December. It's freezing. It's snowing. They're like, what are you doing? And then I'm like, ready to go to Canada. They're like, it's snowing outside. You're wearing nothing. Like, what are you talking about? I didn't know how Canada was going to be, right? So, but they didn't take me. They took me straight to Maplehurst Jail. There's a jail here called Maplehurst. They want to do, they want to see what happened to you in America. You know what I'm saying? Before they release you, they want to know what happened. What did you get in trouble with? What's the reason? So if you did time, so if you tried to go to another country, but you did time in that country and it was severe charges, do not make an effort to go anywhere. They're not going to work. They're going to keep you in there for about a year or 6 months, get your flight ready, and send you back. So for anybody who's got deported from the States, who got deported from that, they're trying to come back or anyway, and you're not trying to go to America, but you're trying to go, let's just say, Australia, they're going to keep you in there and they're going to see what you did wrong with that country. Maybe not Australia, only Canada because they're neighbors. America and them are neighbors. So they want to see the problems you had. Are they severe? Are they over 2 years? Are they over 3 years prison time? So they saw that the charges weren't severe, right? And then
Right.
they released me on a refugee asylum. So I got released on a refugee asylum, and then I made it to Canada. And then being in Canada the whole time, just stuck with the pizza shop. I found a pizza shop nearby, Naples Pizza, and worked in Naples the whole entire time. I'm talking about 100 hours a week. I didn't care. I just wanted to work, 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 work. And then a few problems happen. Of course, problems always occur, right? Like that's how it is. So finally landed in Canada after the officer said, because I have to tell him the truth, right? He was going to release me. He was going to deport me back to America. I didn't want to go. So I just said whatever. They gave me the refugee, and that's it. And I started my life. I went to Windsor, which they found it ironic. They're like, why do you want to go to Windsor so bad? And I said, I don't know. That's where my uncle lives. I said, but why Windsor? I said, I don't know. That's where my uncle lives. Why are you asking me so many questions? I guess Windsor is the border of like America to Canada. So they think that I'm trying to go back, right? Or I'm trying to do something. I was like, no, 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 no. I want to stay here. I want to stay here. I want to be safe. I want to stay here. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go back to the States. I don't care. It's like, why winter though? I was like, I'll go anywhere. Toronto. I'll go wherever you want. Just not back home. I'll stay wherever you guys want me to. And they're like, okay, all right, whatever. Because they saw, like, if I wanted to go back, I could have used a passport to try to go back. But I didn't. I came here to get away from these individuals, to claim refugee, to not die. And they're like, all right. Anyways, so then I started my life over here. And ever since, just like, been working and been working. But then I caught that assault charge. And then that's why I could tell you about a little bit of the Canadian jail, how crazy it is over here. Yeah, I did a little bit of time. So now I did jail in America, which is Arizona. I did jail in Albania, which is Himar, and I did jail in Canada. So I know exactly what each jail looks like. The food here is not so bad. Three meals a day. So 3 meals a day is not bad. Really good meals, big meals. Um, the only problem is it's different from the States. The COs here are messed up. They kill inmates. So it's all over the news. I think I sent you the article as well. But
Right.
yeah, he was affiliated to a biker. Let's just say that. I don't want to mention no names because I'm in this area at the moment. Right now, I'm waiting for a waiver. I did my 10 years, so I'm waiting for a waiver to go back to the States through a sponsorship through my father. But also, I got my refugee asylum that I'm waiting for in Canada. Some people get it right away. They get lucky. You know, some people that had charges, whatever, it takes time. For me, it's taken 12 years. 12 years. And then other people that come over here from other countries, they get it right away. And then they're burning the Canadian flag and saying death, death to Canada. And they're saying we hate Canada. So we'll fucking go back to your damn ass country then and see how you like it. Because I went there, I didn't like it. That's what I mean. So if you guys are saying death, death to Canada, then why are you here then? And then you can't do nothing to these guys because they're allowed to do it, according to the police. That's a terrorist attack. Burning the flag and saying death to Canada. That's what I think. Anyways, that's a whole big thing going on in Canada right now where it's going to happen really soon. It's happening in America. It's happening everywhere that a lot of people are, immigration is becoming big. You might think that racism is like going down and disappearing. It's actually becoming more because now you got a whole different groups coming in. You know, we got Indians, Arabics coming in, and all this, and everybody's trying to connect with everybody, and they don't see eye to eye. They don't see the same views. So there's fights and wars and everywhere. They get mad at Canada why they can't be part of NATO. Like who? Like or why they're part of NATO? They're part of NATO because they're part of NATO. You know what I'm saying? What does that got to do with anything? Well, what's that? What's to you? They gave you a roof over your head. They're letting you work. You know what I'm saying? Work, be happy. You escaped your country, and that's it. You know what I'm saying? Why are you making this such a big deal? So there's a lot of controversy here when it comes to the whole, who they're bringing in, but they're bringing in a lot of people. They brought in what, 20,000 Syrians, 20,000 Syrians, the whole Motel 6, all the hotels down in Windsor were booked. They said we booked because we're giving them hotels. We're giving them places to stay. They get to stay here and live here. They get $1,000 right off the bat every month. They get all these special privileges, everything, stuff that even Canadians don't get, which I feel bad. You know what I'm saying? The majority of them don't even work. They get a lot of money. They don't need to work. They blame it that they don't know the language. They blame it that they just came and they don't know. You know what I'm saying? So Anyways, for being a guy who got deported, who saw the worst of worst, I know how it feels. So it's a different story with me because I seen it. With them, they regret it. But once you go back to your country, then you'll understand, how much you want to kiss the floor of Canada or America. They're two of the best countries. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you could go back and forth, say who's better, who's not. Doesn't matter. It's safe, right? Majority. But regardless, I went to Exeter Road, and then that was the Bam Bam. Bam Bam was his name. A good fella, amazing guy. But so yes, now with the assault charge, a nightclub situation, coming to a new country, don't know too many people. These are not my friends. These are not my day ones. These are people I just met. So starting life all over again. You go to a whole new country, your life's starting all over again. Anyways, go to a local nightclub. Some individuals didn't like the chains I was wearing and stuff like that, so they thought that they could try to rob me on the outside. As I was leaving, they were following me. Took a corner, and then that's when we fought. It was 3-on-1. They tried to yank. They got one of the chains. They yanked it off of me. On the way of running to the car, they dropped on the ground, but like they still kept the chain part, but not the actual eagle. And this is just something my parents gave me, like just close to heart that my family bought, with the money that they had left in Albania. So that means a lot. Anyways, took the assault charge. Officers come, and then what are you doing? I'm here in a refugee claim. Okay, no problem. You're going to Exeter Road. Exeter Road. Worst jail in Canada. I was
So
like,
wait a second. I have a question real quick. So
or,
someone tried to rob you. You defended yourself, and you got charged.
yeah, they saw the fight. They saw me punching the guy, and they saw the fight. Well, the two of them got picked up. We all got picked up for assault, disturbing the peace, uh, uttering death threats, and assault. And then I think one of them had a weapon, so saw with the weapon. Doesn't Canada is they like to take everything to trial. They love trial. And they take everything to trial. In the States, if you go to trial, it's something crazy, something ridiculous.
Well, in the state, if somebody tried to rob me and I chased him down and beat him half to death with a baseball bat, I'm within my right.
Yeah, no guns. No guns in Canada. Not allowed to shoot. Nobody has a gun. Nobody has not one gun here. You're not allowed to steal nobody. You're not allowed to provoke anybody. You're not allowed to attack anybody. You're not allowed to disturb the peace. You are not allowed to give violence.
But he robbed. They tried to rob you.
Doesn't matter. To them, it's like, why are you guys fighting in public? Oh, he tried to rob me. Okay, well, I saw you punching him, and then they're attacking you. And
He
what?
tried to rob me.
Yeah, exactly what I told the officer. But why are you punching them back? Oh, well, he tried to rob me. Well, how do we know this? When did it happen? I said, it happened right outside. Okay, well, we don't know. We just know that you guys are fighting. There's two of you guys, and they're fighting you. You guys are all fighting each other. This guy's got punched in the face. I seen you throw the blow. I seen him yanking on your chain. Get a lawyer. That's what they love here. Get a lawyer. Take it to court. They love trials here. Everything goes to trial. And if it involves a woman, forget about it. Canada protects their woman 110%. You can literally have a woman inside the house. She could say she loves you. You get along. The next day, she felt like she did something wrong. She regrets it. She calls the police and says that she was forced inside your house. Done. Finished. That you can come say whatever you want. You're going to jail. You got a charge. You're going to go to trial. Take a guilty plea or go to trial. I got a guy right now doing the essay like sexual like assault. You know what I'm saying? He's in there right now. Didn't it was his girlfriend. His girlfriend told him to come over, text message and everything. I can't wait for you to get home, blah blah blah. But found out that he was cheating on the phone. It doesn't matter. She got aggressive, throwing stuff. Told the cops that he came over here and forced himself inside the house, forced himself inside his own home, and then tried to aggressively attack her in bed. Boom. He's just trying to fight a trial right now. He's in Exeter Road. Doesn't matter. For women here, forget about it. She could smack you in the face, punch you in the face, hit you with a baseball bat. As soon as you touch her, you're going to jail. The man's at fault. I've learned this. I've seen it 100 times. I don't like to put hands on women. I'm not like that because like Albanian and most countries, they like to be like aggressive towards a woman. I don't like that kind of stuff, you know. But I've seen guys like a girl punches him at the nightclub. He has the right to defend himself. He gets to jail. Doesn't matter here. For a woman, forget about it. You're automatically at fault if you're trying to start a fight with a woman. If you're trying to start a fight with a woman, you're gone. You're trying to start a fight with a man, you're both in trouble. Doesn't
All right,
matter.
so I get it. All right, so you're in jail, so they bring you down there.
Yeah, they take you down to Maricopa County. Or Maricopa County, man, it's so stuck in my head. Exeter Road. I'm still thinking of Sheriff Joe Pio, man, and that place is stuck in my head. It's got me nightmares.
If you sleep hot at night, you know how disruptive that can be. Whether you're having trouble falling asleep, you're waking up sweating in the middle of the night, or all of the above, that's where Ghost Bed can help. As the makers of the coolest beds in the world, Ghost Bed is your go-to for cooling mattresses, cooling pillows, and cooling bedding. From their signature Ghost Ice fabric to patented technology that adjusts to your body's temperature, every Ghost Bed mattress is designed with cooling in mind. So whether you want a plusher mattress that cushions your shoulders and hips, or a firm option with exceptional support, your Ghost Bed will keep you cool and comfortable all night long. When you purchase a Ghost Bed mattress, your comfort is guaranteed. You can try out your mattress for 101 nights, risk-free, to make sure it's the right fit for you. Plus, they offer free shipping, and most items are shipped within 24 hours. If you're not sure which Ghost Bed is right for you, check out their mattress quiz. You'll answer a few questions and get a personalized recommendation. Even better, our listeners can get 50% off site-wide for a limited time. Just visit ghostbed.com/Cox and use the code COX at checkout. Again, that's ghostbed.com/Cox with the code COX at the checkout to save a whopping 50% off site-wide.
Anyways, they took me down to Exeter Road. I'm thinking, okay, whatever. I've been to jail in the States. It's whatever. Like, what are they going to do? And I was defending myself. Doesn't matter. You got to get a lawyer and you got to fight the charge. So at this time, you have to have an surety. A surety is somebody that you're going to stay at their house. They're going to be protecting you. They're going to do this and that. I don't have an surety. Like, I have no family out here. All my family's in America and over this. So I got to literally fight it in there. But anyways, I told them the situation. I got no family here. I got no nothing. And then they released me. But the time being in there, which was a couple months, three to 4 months of being inside before they can actually release you, that's when I heard. And then, like, the CEOs are crazy. They're corrupt. Like, so if somebody does something towards a woman, okay, they're going inside Exeter Road jail. The cops, or not the cops, but the CEOs, literally will bang on the doors, right? We'll take them to the worst yard. Like, there's level 4, 5, and 6. And they'll take it to the worst one. They say 6 is active. 6 is active. Everybody's getting down. Everybody's fighting. Everybody's going crazy. They'll take them up to 6, and then they'll be like, "You guys ready for tomorrow?" And then you go, "Ow!" And then everybody will start howling, "Ow!" That means the wolves are going to get you. And then the CO would point them out like, it's this guy. That's the guy that violated a woman. And that's the guy you guys are going to get. And that's what happens. They let it happen. They release him. First rule is you got to go take a shower. As soon as the guy in the morning gets released to the shower, boom, beating up. They take their time. They walk around. They walk around. They walk around. They know what's happening already. It's the owl. Once you do that, that means you're dug. The wolves are coming out to play. So they're beating the crap out of this guy. Afterwards, they take him and they put him in PC, protected custody. So another individual came over there. That's where you see all over the news. If you put an Exeter Road riot or Exeter Road inmate killing, or you just put Bam Bam inmate, you can see over 2,000 bikers showed up. 2,000 bikers, because the COs stomped and beat the individual. And the next person next door to him heard him say, "Please stop, please stop, stop, please, please, guys, stop." They kept beating them, punching them, hitting them, stomping them. Now there's a lawsuit going on, but the guy that they did was a well-known biker. Don't want to mention it, but if you go on there, you're going to see the jackets. But anyways, 2,000 of them showed up. Not one of them came out. Not one of the COs came out of that jail cell. Everybody stayed indoors that day. They locked the whole place up, and it was crowded by 2,000 bikers. That place, that jail, is the worst jail when it comes to COs not caring. They want you to get in trouble. They want you to fight. They want to see who's stronger, who's tougher than the other. And if you give them force, they're going to come at you with force. So you can look it up all you want. There's like what, maybe 2-3 deaths a year from COs from then. That's we're talking about the COs killing you. So it's just it's corrupt, man. It's corrupt. And it's just it's a simple jail, lock up, to 3 times to eat a day type stuff. You get stayed in, right? I mean, you get to get out. They got a TV, a nice TV, totally different from Durango. Nice, cleaner jail, better looking jail, but the COs are totally different. In the States, they won't allow that kind of stuff to happen. Here, that totally changed my mind because they let anything happen in that jail. COs are nowhere to be found. You know what I'm saying?
How long were you there?
3 to 4 months. As soon as I got out, and I took everything to trial. I've had 3 charges in Canada, and I took them all to trial, and I beat them all. I beat all of them have been dropped. You got to take everything to trial in Canada. They want you to go to trial. That's how they make their money. They want you to go to trial. They don't care. So far, been fortunate because none of them were my fault, to be honest with you. But I took it to trial, and they didn't have any evidence, and I got cleaned away from those. But that's what I remember from Maricopa County. Like,
Okay.
I didn't know it was gonna be that crazy, but like them killing one of my these good not friends as know him from a long time. Can't say I grew up with the guy, but partying, hanging out. A guy that's well known around the community. After seeing him getting stomped out by CEOs, not seeing him but hearing it, and then him being dead in there, and then all these other people going through torture, and seeing the guy that I had to go fight him in the bathroom for what? Like, it's not even the officers made you. Did he really even come there for that? You don't even know. There was no proof. There was nothing. Just to go, guys, you ready? Oh, everybody start howling. We're ready to go. Then as soon as the doors open, take him straight to the shower. So just a straight corrupt jail, messed up. And then Maplehurst is the same thing. Maplehurst is even worse. But if I have to say, Maricopa County would be way worse. But when it comes to like food and like the environment that you live in, like Arizona would be worse, like environment that you live in. Canada wise, you get fed well. There's no woods, kinfos, Chicanos. There's nobody segregated. It's just white, black. That's it. There's no racial problems. There's nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? But this place has a lot of problems when it comes to immigrants coming in. They have. I live next to a guy. It's all over the news as well. He ran over a family, a whole Indian family, just because he didn't like them. And I lived next to the guy. I never knew he was like that. But one day I made a comment. I said we were doing laundry. You know how the apartments have one laundry that everybody has to go. I see them walking at the apartment complex, and this is on for anybody who wants to look 34 Covent Marketplace in London, Ontario. And then the individual, I say salam alaikum to him. He's he says salama what? I said salam alaikum. I hear you say it a lot here, and everybody does in Canada. It's a respectful kind of way. I swear to God, man, what he said. It was just like he goes salaikum sakak or something like that. I said what? I said, what? He just said it like a rude, disrespectful way. Salaikum sakak. I was like, what are you talking about, man? That's the guy that ran over the family the next day, all over the news. He just hated immigrants. He hated immigrants, and he was fully strapped, had all these guns. He could have came and killed me that night. I didn't even know about it. I'm over here thinking Canada is a dangerous country, but they don't put stuff all over the news like America does. They're very quiet. You know what I'm saying? They do. It's a lot of problems that happen in Canada, but it's not all over the news. They don't blast everything, and social media takes it and goes crazy. And there's no RICO. There's no RICO cases here, so there's no RICO. So at the end of the day, there's no. Oh, you're part of a gang. Okay, RICO. Everybody goes in. So, and you murder somebody, 10 years is maximum. So it's totally different from the States. There's a lot more leniency in Canada, but anyways, there's a lot more leniency in Canada, but that's not what we're here for. I came to the country to better myself, to stay out of trouble. But, coming to a new country at first, what are you going to do? You're going to get a little bit of conflicts at first, right? So then I opened up a pizza shop. I got a coffee shop in Toronto, and I opened up a pizza shop over here, and I work every day at my pizza shop. And I got a little small coffee shop, me and my partner, and then that's it. I get involved in some stocks. I like to.
How long you been doing the pizza shop and the coffee shop?
Oh, but since I came to Canada, I worked like that. I owned. I owned it. I owned it for about. It's been 4 years now that I've owned the pizza shop, and 2 years I've owned the coffee shop. But at the beginning, I worked every day at Naples Pizza, like every day at the pizza shop. Um, Believe it or not, they were third place in the world, Canada, for best pizza, which I didn't know.
Nice.
So they took third place for best pizza, and I got to get trained by some professionals out there, which was pretty nice. And you go back to where you were. I always knew how to make good pizza. So my dad always said, football player, pizza maker. So now my father made it. He got a sponsorship. So he finally made it to America the legal way, the right way. I believe in that. Everybody should come legally. If you're going to come to the country, come legally. He's happy that he's there legally. Nobody bothers him no more. No more ICE coming to your door and getting scared and watching behind your back. And now the only person that's left is my mother. She's waiting on a sponsorship too. And it's going to be like within this year, next year, she's going to come back, and hopefully we can have that one family meal that we wanted to, that we've never had for about 15 years now. Once you get separated from your family, that one dinner that you didn't give a damn about, that you missed, that you didn't want to go to, you wish that you had them and you can eat that one meal with them, So, it's sad, man. Getting separated from your family, you miss a lot. And, for everybody who's going to go through it, especially with this mass deportation thing, just be ready, guys. Have your stuff in order, have your stuff in the system. Don't trust any, that's why I got an Instagram, Mondo Fight for Freedom. It's just Mondo, my name, and then fight, and then the number 4 for freedom. That's my Instagram that I just created. And that's for anybody who wants to get in there to talk about immigration, to get some help. If you want to know some good lawyers, because I've been through it, man. We spent over $200,000 on lawyers, my dad. So I know which ones are corrupt, which ones are messed up. If you're trying to come to Canada, if you're trying to come to America, however you're trying to do it, I know the process. I lived through it, man. And I'm 35 years old, and I've been struggling for 35 years to find a home. You know what I mean? Not even Albania wants me. So, they want me, but I can't go. So
all right, what are the names of the social media again?
Yeah, Mondo Fight for Freedom. That's gonna be the Instagram. Yeah, Instagram one. And then my YouTube channel that I'm trying to start up. Right now I'm just doing what's the difference between Canada and America? That's where I'm getting at. And then later on we'll talk about immigration and a lot more other stuff. But it's gonna be to search it up on YouTube, it's just at El Jefe or El Jefe the Don. So at El Jefe the Don. And that would be to search it up, but it's called The Jump Off. The Jump Off is the name, and that's just me jumping off to one country to another country to another country. So that's why I came up with the name, and then just El Jefe the Don. If you want to search it up, hopefully get some subscribers. A lot of people in Canada are helping me out the best they can to try to get a platform.
Well, and I'll leave the description. I'll leave the links in the description box.
Yeah, if you can, that'll be amazing, man. I appreciate everything you do. And I just want to get that message around, man, for all the immigrants that are going to be, don't take things for granted, be happy where you're at, because the place you're going to go is not going to be what you think it is. So just be happy where you're at and love the country that you're at and be a hardworking citizen. And that's the best you can do. All the other BS, leave that to the side. Nobody's there to help you at the end of the day. Thank you, Josh. So nobody's there to help you at the end of the day.
Hey, you guys, I appreciate you watching. Do me a favor, hit the subscribe button, hit the bell so you get notified of videos just like this. Also, we're going to leave all of Armando's links in the description box. So you go in the description box, click on the link, go there, follow him, subscribe to his channel, try and support him. Once again, I really appreciate you watching, and please consider joining our Patreon. It's $10 a month, and we put Patreon exclusive content on Patreon. So I really appreciate you guys checking out the video. Thank you very much. See ya.